What's up? Getting settled in, Pat. Getting invites on. What up, what up? We always rock out, getting ready, getting invites out. What's up, Fake Rain? Welcome, buddy. I work with that guy, Spood. Spood's the man. He broke the records last week. You guys hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. Just waiting on Dread and Anthem. We need to get the invites out. This thing lets me go live. When I do an event, I can only go up 10 minutes beforehand, so just a little housekeeping real quick. Sounds good there. Cool. Right on. Rhonda, what's up? Rhonda's always around giving us support. Love that. B&A in the house. What's up, Ashley? Beasties. Thanks for the follow, bro. Got me a new shirt. Thought it was ironically hilarious. 5 Below, can't go wrong. It says social media was a mistake. I don't believe that to be true, but I thought it was freaking hilarious. So, good morning, Lockwoods. Good morning, Vietnam. Moose, welcome. Thanks for joining. Thanks. Yeah, I thought it's the best $5.55 I spent on a t-shirt outside of Goodwill ever. Tech boss in the house, giving reps to Pat. People are pretty stoked about you, Patrick. Do you like Pat or Patrick better?
It don't matter. Either one's cool, man.
I'm the same way with Phil or Philip. I usually use Philip at work because, like, on the intercom overhead and stuff, like Phil, Bill, Jill, it all sounds the same. So, but
what's going on, Patrick? What's up, man? Welcome to the show.
Hey.
Boom, boom, boom.
Ahoy, matey! Or wait, are you like Paul Revere?
I'm kind of confused right now on what I am, so let's just roll with it.
I think Paul Revere, maybe. Yeah. A true patriot.
That's what Moose was saying. I was Paul Revere and the Raiders, and let's just roll with it.
Yeah, Paul Revere and the Raiders. That's it.
So, I got the guest channel up. We should probably put the guest channel in a box and just let it ride.
Oh, because people follow them?
Yeah, I got the guest channel right now, so let me...
So the guest channel, guys, this is that housekeeping junk I was telling you about. Let's see if I can get them. Yeah, I'll get them in a box.
And then I'll keep sharing it. I was doing that on the pre-show live a while ago, and then we'll get the garbage out of that way, and then we'll let Patrick do what he does best.
So yeah, the housekeeping thing, we need everyone to follow our guest account. They're going to be in a box on the side doing nothing. It needs to get 500 followers so they can have video access. What that is a workaround for Instagram folks. I will share the login with them on a week-by-week basis. That way, if they're not on TikTok, they don't have to go and reinvent the wheel. They can just use that login for my guest account, and they can get a video box and be a guest. Because there's a lot of people on Instagram, we're about to hit that road real hard come in September. 3 out of 4 guests are Instagram only. So, and it's just going to go from there. We're booked out. We're booked through the first week of October. We have been for a few weeks now. And so we're rolling. We got some good stuff coming your way, a lot of good surprises. And very, very, very different types of keepers. We're going to expand our knowledge base tenfold coming up here. So we want to open that door for the guest account. It's at 220 on the followers. I'll make it follow you back. It doesn't do anything. It's just kind of a slave account. But they can have video access. So we need help there. If you guys can help, that would be super awesome. Cool. All right, let's see here. Anthem said she'll be here as soon as she can. That she got the kiddo. She's getting them to bed. So what's cool, Pat, is we're in all the time zones, buddy. I'm gonna give you the big box, bro. So we are East Coast to West Coast on this show. It's pretty fun. I'm in the Midwest. R.I.P. Anything cool? And Dred's out in the far west. Are you Mountain Time Zone?
I am. I'm Arizona. So.
Is that Mountain? Yeah. Okay. So you're 1 hour behind me, 1 hour ahead of Dred.
No. Oh yeah, 2 hours behind you, I think, because it's 5 o'clock here.
Oh, so you're West Coast time. You're West Coast time. Okay.
Yeah, I'm West Coast time. Yep, man.
Okay.
Mountain
I wasn't sure what that divide was. And then our moderator, the other host with us, Anthem, she's in the East Coast time zone. Uh-oh, guest is echoing bad. You can, yeah, there you go. That fixed it. Boom, perfect. That's all we need. What's up, Erica's? Welcome. We knew you'd be here supporting. So Erica's she's your sister, right?
Yeah, she's like she couldn't be any closer to me than blood, but I call her family. So
Arizona doesn't do a time change. Okay. Question. Like, what if you what if you lived in far western edge border of Arizona, but you had to drive an hour into California and go to work, but they're on a time change? What time do you leave for work, man? Like, what do you do?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't have that problem, so.
I'm always late, boss. I'm always an hour late. I can't tell what the hell to tell you.
I guess you'd have to leave an hour early, huh?
Life would suck.
Oh, it would suck.
Oh, there's Anthem. There's our girl, and she's in the box.
Sorry about that.
All right, I think the gang's all here. Nice. Right on. Appreciate that. Witchy, you're awesome. So last week, Pat, we broke all the records where you had more shares right now. This week, though, heading into it, dude, you had over 210 shares on these promos, which is more than anybody has shared so far. And we had the first guests sign up for the live event. We were at 2122, which was more than we had like 9 and 17 or something in the past. I just started doing that the last 2 weeks. So last week we had 73,000 plus likes, 800 rolled through, and we were holding, with Spood Lover, 65 to 80 some viewers for a good long time for the whole 90 minutes. So that was rad. That was new high water marks for us. So with all them shares and stuff tonight, dude, I think we can beat it, man. It's early, but we're already over halfway to 10K, and we just got talking. So hell yeah.
Follow them back. Sweet. Man, this is exciting.
Yeah,
Excited to
dude,
be
you've
here
done
again.
a podcast before, right? You've been on one. I saw that clip of that video.
I've done a couple. It's been a while, but I've done 3 on YouTube already. So I've been on YouTube 3 times already. But this is my first one on TikTok, and it's always exciting when people, when you can catch somebody's eye or what you're doing, and the fun part about it is I'm just doing what I love. I'm not trying to do nothing special or be anybody better than anybody else. I had a dream. I invested in some animals 5 years ago, and I started off with 5 cages in a rack system, and now here I am in a breeding facility with over 200 snakes, and so many boa constrictors, and I started with 15 snakes 5 years ago. So anybody can do it. It's just if you're passionate and you love it, and just it'll take you wherever you chase it to. So that's what got me where I'm at. Like I said, I'm nobody special. I'm just somebody breeding boas that loves what I do. So,
and you know what, man? From everything I hear from the big dogs, like that's what you got to do to succeed. Like whether it's breeding ball pythons, don't chase what's popular. Don't chase and breed what you think's gonna make money. If you do what you love, you'll learn enough about it, and you'll find your niche and your lane. Get known for something, but be transparent and honest about your budget, your dreams, your goals, your limitations, all of it. Because you'll get found out in a hurry if you're a fraud and a fake and a joke.
Absolutely.
And you're never going to succeed. So do what you love, and the money will follow. And reptiles, and I'm not a very patient person. I work on that. So it's a game of patience. You got to spend 2, 3. Boas, man. Like you can size up a girl ball python. Quick. 2 years maybe. And then boas, if you ain't waiting 4 or 5 years, you're risking maternal death. And so you've got to wait. It teaches you patience, and God knows I need patience because I am not a patient person.
No, and same here. I never had patience, and I always prayed for patience. And then I found my passion for boas, and I was like, well, there it is. That's why they say be careful what you pray for, because I found my passion with boas, and it's definitely taught me patience. Like you said, you don't want to breed your females too early. You don't want to breed your males too early. You don't want your males too big. So there's just so many things that goes into it. And you just want to play all the safe cards that go into it. Unfortunately, like this year, I was gone for 2 days, and one of my females was trying to have babies. Well, a slug was turned sideways, and I lost her. I raised her. I produced her 4 years ago. She was 4.5 years old. I produced her and pulled her out of the goo and raised her this whole time. So it was devastating to walk in here and see her with her mouth open, and she was I was like, oh man, no. But it's the risk with breeding. I tell people that all the time, like, hey, these are animals, and it's a risk that we take. So
Dang, dude, I'm sorry to hear that. Now, do you feel that breeding boas, is it trickier to find a good pair that get along and actually are successful at breeding? I mean, I'm aware that the actual birthing process is dicier than an egg layer, than a python. What do you think of it? Compare and contrast. I mean, you've got experience in both. Compare and contrast them.
I'm gonna say this: people say boas are hard, and they are difficult to figure out. But I've been breeding them for so long that when I went into eggs, it was the opposite. I felt like eggs were a nightmare. I barely got incubators right last year. So after 3 years of dealing with eggs, I'm barely now getting my incubators right. Compared to boas, I breed them. The female thermoregulate. She does all the work from the time she's grabbing until the time she has babies. So she just sits there gravid for 123 days. She'll thermoregulate. But other than that, once she's gravid, I don't have to do nothing until it's time to take out the babies. With eggs, it's a lot more of a process because you have to wait 30 to 45 days. They lay the eggs. Then you have to set up a lay box. Then you have to make sure your temperatures in your incubator are right where they need to be. Then you got to set them up. Then they hatch, you got to separate them. Like for me, there's a lot more steps to egg layers than there is boas. So I'm always going to be biased. And I say that honestly, that I'm always going to be with boas and live birth. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that completely. Me being the ball python guy and doing with the eggs, there's extra steps there that may not need to be right. That with me wanting to get into boas eventually, and I'll be probably hitting you up at some point, and definitely, man, definitely. The live birth I think is cool, and that just takes out a couple steps and maybe a little less stress, maybe not.
And I've been blessed to see at least 2 litters born a year the last 5 years. Every year I get to see babies. Somehow, I mean, there's sometimes I just come into the building and there's just a pile of babies. And then sometimes I come into the building and she's spitting one out right in front of me and I get to record it. So it's a blessing to be able to see these animals being born. And then like for me, it's like creating art and color and pattern with an animal. You know what I mean? Like I
heard you say that.
Every vision is
change the paint job. Change the paint job. Exactly, man. That's super cool. And that
We had 10K in 7 minutes, dude.
Yeah, and that keeps you like going, wow, what's next? What's next? Right? It keeps your mind engaged with what you're doing. What's the potential out there? I love it, man. I love it.
Absolutely. I tell people all the time, what I do as a breeder and what I've done with my projects is I take 2 of the best parents that I find or what I invest in, I grow them up, and I got this vision of what I want, right? So I grow them up and I breed them, and I tell people 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10, that litter is always 10 times better than my vision. There's not a time I see the litter and I'm like, oh man, I thought it'd be better than that. Like I'm jumping, I'm screaming because I'm like, oh my gosh, this thing turned out better than I could imagine. So like now that when I go into projects, I'm like, I can only imagine what this is gonna look like. And the excitement, every year, 5 years, I still jump and scream just as I did the very first year. It don't change.
Are you line breeding? Are you taking like offspring back to the parent or the dad specifically?
I did that this year. So I was testing something that I had seen with the baby, so I wanted to see if it was genetic or if it was just like something random. So I bred the brother and sister together, and it wasn't genetic. It was just something that randomly happened. So sometimes I will test it if I see something that I'm looking for. If I'm like, hey, was that random? Was that genetic? The only way to know is to breed it. So. The other reason why I would line breed or line breed, is to stronger my bloodline. I tell people a lot of times it's okay to line breed one time if you're trying to, like, if you're working with pastels or you're working with a color morph and you want to make your colors really, really just deep and dense. I'll inbreed them one time. Then you're going to make yes, the babies are going to be, siblings, but your color and quality is going to be so much better. Now when you outcross selective breeding, this is where selective breeding comes in, because now you're going to want to go buy the best looking baby that you can buy to breed to the best looking baby you held back. Now you're selective breeding from line breeding. And I tell a lot of people, sometimes it goes hand in hand, but some people will never agree to that. So that's just me as a breeder.
Because they align more with selective only or line breeding only? Which one, or both?
They believe in more. They say there's enough out there to selective breed, but which there is. But me, I'm always gonna do it just to make my bloodline stronger. To me, it's just gonna make what I'm doing that much better. So now when I selective breed, I'm just putting quality to quality, and I know everything is gonna be quality after that. So. Like I said, it's just a perspective thing on different people's outlook on it and stuff. So,
right, completely makes sense.
Are you using Clutch or Husbandry Pro or anything to track your genetics, or have you found any value in that?
For the most part, no. I've known where all my breed. So right now, a lot of stuff that I'm raising up to breed is stuff that I produced years ago, and a lot of it's from different litters, and it's different genetics. But a lot of the parents I have, and I know the breeders they came from, and I know I could reach out to any one of those breeders. Like a lot of my stuff's either from Michael Roscoe, basically Boas, Ozzy Boyd, some of the biggest names in the game. So I know that my stuff comes from the best background and the best genetics. But I don't. What I do though is like I can show people every litter that I produce. Hey, this is the mom, this is the dad, this is where they came from. I can provide all that information with that just from just sitting in my head, just because I haven't brought nothing new in the last 2 years. So I know every boa in this building, genetic and where it came from.
Cool. First off, you said doo-doo, which was hilarious, by the way.
Yeah, this is good.
So you said
Trying to get back on my
you alluded
tip.
to something. Your males can't be too big. What?
Yes, so you don't want your males. I don't, because big males can hurt females. They do a lot of tail action and a lot of courting. I like my males. Basically, there's a meme that goes around where there's like a 7-foot female and a 3-foot male, and the female's bending over to kiss the male, and they laugh. And a boa breeder made that meme because that's typically how it looks. Your males are like 3 foot, and your females are 6 or 7 feet. Now, not all the time they're 3 foot, but you get the idea how much bigger your males are than your females. And a lot of boa breeders prefer that because a bigger male can hurt your female and damage her, just because they can get rough. So yeah, I won't breed too big of a male. And plus, the bigger they get lazy too. So you don't want your males too big or too strong, because they just get lazy too. So
Really?
I like my males slim and small. So
That's wild.
Reptile Classifieds has a question here. Let's throw this. What was the first boa you invested in? If you didn't already cover that.
The first boa I ever invested in, fortunately, she is not with me. She was a shark sunglow in 2014. She passed in 2018 after I bred her. She never bounced back from having babies, but she was the first boa that I ever invested in. The second boa that I've ever invested in is still here with me to this day, and she's probably the best looking boa I got in this building, if you ask me. I'm being biased too because she's my favorite. So,
Well, yeah, good. Good.
So what is the difference between the BCI? So like you have a Central American BCI and a normal BCI. What's the difference?
So with BCIs, it's just localities. A lot of BCIs, they're either from Colombian or they're from Mexico. Those are the two main BCI localities. And a lot of my stuff is from Colombian, because when it's from Mexico, they'll label it from Mexico, or they'll label it Mexican BCI. But 90% of the BCIs flown around right now are Colombian. Just because I personally don't know a lot of people working with BCIs from Mexico, unless they're just not stating that it's from Mexico. But those are the only two localities that I know of the BCI. So,
Does it make a difference in appearance or sexual dimorphism?
honestly, I've never really compared the two enough to know. I just know a lot of BCI and what that looks like, just because that's what I'm familiar with and that's what comes my way a lot of the time. But from what I understand, and I do know a guy that breeds pure Colombians, and he's shown me them, and they do actually look a lot cleaner than a lot of the Colombians that you see floating around. So I'm assuming that pure Mexicans, I'm pretty sure that they would have a look or a color or something different to them, because pure Colombians that's never been mixed to a sunglow or nothing else, I'm talking just pure, they definitely have a little bit of a different look compared to the Colombians that are like het call or het leopard, or got some kind of het mutation to them. So
Okay, and what's the difference between a BCI and a BCC?
There you go.
BCI
Yeah.
and BCC.
Question of the hour. Thank you, Anthem, because in my little pea brain, I only know about Brazilian rainbow boas. I don't know about your boas? And that is the question that's been killing me. Thank you, Anthem.
So
Seriously.
BCCs are locality, and they are actually the main species of boa constrictors. They are the largest and the biggest, and they are true red tails. They're, I got a pair of Guyanans right now.
Yeah.
And the male is just really light gray with a beautiful red tail with some really nice purples on the side. Now that is a main boa constrictor. Now the BCIs are basically they're subspecies, so they don't get as big, and then they're the ones with all the color mutations and all that stuff. So, but the BCCs, a lot of people like to keep pure. If you start mixing those with BCIs, a lot of pure guys that get in their feelings about it. So. For me, I'm just gonna do my pure BCCs, and then I got my BCIs that I work with and stuff like that. But I've actually invested into my first pair of BCCs this year. So
You said they're Guyanans?
Guyanans, there's a handful of them out there. Yeah.
Yeah, I got some friends here in Arkansas that it's a couple hours away, and they got a breeding pair size of those, and they're awesome. They're huge, and yeah, you're right about that red tail. Just the deepest, brightest mahogany.
Yes.
It's freaking fire.
Is gorgeous. Is gorgeous. Yeah.
Now I've heard brain fog here. Dave Kaufman, he talked about the boas, the localities, went down there and stuff. Is this true? So the mountain range is like the divide from your BCCs and BCIs, or is it just the two type of BCCs?
No, there's several. Like if you look at BCCs, they'll actually give you a list of boas that they actually consider BCCs. There's actually quite a few of them. So you got BCOs, you got BCCs, and then you got BCIs. Your BCOs are like your Argentines, your long tail boas. So those are going to be like your BCOs, and then your BCCs are like your true red tails, your Guiana, and your Suriname.
Right.
Then your BCIs are like your Colombian, your Mexican, and your BCIs is probably the most common boa that you see around.
Okay. I got
Yeah,
it.
I think the Suriname I mostly know.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the most common boa. A lot of people are very familiar with the Surinames and the BCCs.
So we have a question down here. What are the difficulties you personally face while breeding boas?
The difficulties. Oh, man. The difficulties with breeding boas, for me, I mean, for the most part, my temperatures stay the same and all that. The only thing that I would say is difficult about breeding boas is the feelings. Your feelings are going to get hurt. Just know that. You're going to get disappointed. You're gonna probably cry at times. I know I have. I've cried losing females. I've cried losing litters. Because these are animals to me. These ain't just money makers. Like, these are animals I spent years raising. These are animals that I got years into. Like, you don't just, me as a breeder, I don't just grow up an animal for 4 years and then it die and be like, oh, whatever. Like, I'm crying.
Right.
I'm showing emotion. Like, hey, dude, I raised you for 4 years. That's a good chunk of time. Like, I got attached to you. So it's difficult when you lose them. It's difficult when litters don't go your way. It's difficult. Those are probably my most difficult times breeding boas. Other than that, as far as breeding and the process, it's pretty, I got it down pretty good. Like I said, the most difficult thing for me is losing the animals, or, litters not going right or something like that. So in your feelings. Oh, they'll have you in your feelings, bro.
Oh my God. I just saw something terrible. I'm not in my feelings, but I'm disgusted. I got three girl mice and one boy, and they're like multicolored and they're not doing their thing. They've been hunky dory. I've had them for like 6 weeks, 8 weeks. They're cool. Still ain't breeding. I'm mad. I found out I should get white ones. I need to get white ones. Why do I look over in this 10-gallon tank and they're eating one of the adults? What the hell happened? Oh my God.
Welcome to mice, bro. Oh my gosh.
What is going on? They've been living in harmony and now they've turned into cannibals?
Oh man.
Oh God.
Just like that, mice are probably one of the hardest things I've tried to breed already. Like, they just eat their babies, they eat each other. I'm like, you guys are horrible, man. You're just horrible.
Oh.
Yeah, mice suck.
What in the world? Should I let them get their protein, or should I tap them out and end the fight?
Just let them finish it off, man. Let them do their thing.
Now it's got a blood taste. Now it's got a bloodlust. It's gonna be like the Predator and shit. It's gonna be running around. Oh,
I
this
walked
is
in my rat
terrible.
room and seen rats pulling like guts out of another rat. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Oh my
bro.
gosh.
I was
Thanks,
like,
Luke.
that's
Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys. Let me give a shout out to everybody in the comments right quick. We appreciate all y'all. We appreciate all the supporters. Like, subscribe, share. The guest that I'm running it in the show notes. Keep the show going. Pat's doing a heck of a job. Let's give him the applause and the thanks he deserves. Keep the questions rolling in, guys. This is really good.
Clap with your snakes, y'all.
Get it.
So hey, give me some basic husbandry stuff, man. It's different. I keep 3 very different things. Very different. Green tree python, Brazilian rainbow boa, and ball pythons. 3 very different creatures. Their temperatures aren't all that different. In fact, the rainbow boa and the GTPs are the same, but humidity and substrate very different, and their decor very different. So, what do you recommend for success with just humidity? Size of the cage, is it better taller, better longer? I mean, how arboreal are they? What kind of temps or what kind of night drop are you doing? What do you do to cycle? Talk about some of that basic husbandry stuff if you can.
So for me, I like to use to breed in. I like to use 4x2x2s for my average size females, and then once they hit 6+ feet, I got 6-foot enclosures that I breed them out of. Me personally, through the years, I've tried many different types of bedding. I've lost boas from mouth infections due to aspen, getting jammed in their mouth. So I've gone through different stages, and the best thing and safest thing I found so far, which I'm seeing a lot of people already starting to talk crap about, is puppy pads. So a lot of people are like, oh, don't feed your snake on puppy pads because the snake will eat the puppy pad, this and that. I've had 0 issues with them. I've been using them for about 8 months now. I've had 0 issues with a snake trying to eat a puppy pad. I like those. One, they're cheap. They're easy to clean. And then the other thing I like about them is on the warm side, I'll always pour water. Well, they absorb water. Well, they hold that water and they hold humidity in my cage for 2 to 3 days. So instead of spraying my cage daily, now I only just pour some water on the warm side once every 2 to 3 days, and it keeps my whole enclosure humid for them. So because humidity is key to breeding these guys. Humidity is huge. So the good part is they just replaced the windows to my building. So in June, they literally put a big old wood wall right here, and they took my windows down. Well, due to the weather, we're in the middle of monsoon season right now. So the temperatures are high, the temperatures are low, the pressures are high, the pressures are low, the humidity is high, the humidity is low. You got all these temperatures just fluctuating constantly. Well, all that temperature was coming into my building for a month and a half. I got a female boa that's pretty close to ovulating already, which is, I've never even had a female ready to go this early. But because of all that pressure coming into my building, it's triggered a lot of my females to the point where I got 5 males right now with nose rub. Because what happens is when the females start getting triggered to breed, they release a hormone into the air. Well, that hormone triggers my males. So my females are on this side and my males are on this side. I got 3 males with nose rub already because those girls over there are already releasing hormones into the air. These guys are smelling it like, bro, it's time to do our thing. And I'm like, it's not time to do your thing. They still got 2 months, but these girls are already releasing the hormones. So for me this year, everything's kicking off early actually. So here in the next month, I'm actually going to start pairing a lot more males, and I'm going to start putting a lot more pairs together because I'm seeing a big difference in my males' behaviors, my females' behaviors. My females are getting more active. My males are way more active. They're speaking to me. They're like, hey, it's here. So I'm just going to keep feeding them for another couple weeks, and I'm going to start pairing stuff. So.
Yeah, and that's something I'm learning with reptiles, and I mean I've been into them for 30 years, but in the just really drilling down to be a focused breeder now. It's the same as when I was a paramedic firefighter, right? But I was a much better medic than I was a firefighter, and a lot more experience at it. And it's like read your patient, not the vitals. You don't just look at the machine and go, oh well, you shouldn't be dying because this number right here says you're alive. your patient is gray and puking and covered in sweat and not responsive, just because they have a heartbeat doesn't mean they're doing good, because clearly you look at the patient. And the same with reptiles. You don't just go, oh, well, my thermostat says I set it to this. It must be perfect. Why is my snake plastered against the side of the opposite end of the cage, whether it's cold or warm? Read your reptiles. Look at their signs. And, yeah, here you are. A perfect example. You're not just going, well, guys, you snakes need to look at the calendar. It's not really your date yet. No, they're telling you it's the date. So instead of you being dogmatic to what you've done in prior years, oh, you got to wait till November. No. They're going to happen in September now because that's what's popping off. And I think that's a really good lesson for people that want to breed to be successful is read your snakes. Is it acting normal? Obviously, eating, shedding, pooping, that is kind of the basic, to equate it to like human vitals. That's a respiratory rate, pulse ox, heart rate, blood pressure. That's your basic stuff. But is your animal cowering in one corner? Are they looking dingy? All these other subtle things. Where are they? Are they defensive when they didn't used to be, or vice versa? Are they lethargic when they're usually spicy? So reading your reptile is really key. And I think not just like going, oh, well, my thermostat said to this, it should be perfect. Sometimes your thermostat's wrong. Sometimes your hygrometer's wrong. Your humidity says it's this, but really it's that $10 thing from Exoterra is lying to you. So, and even I've got various hygrometers. There's more expensive ones, but they're about 18, 19 bucks a piece. Vivio Sun, I love them, and they're standalone temp and hygrometers. And I usually monitor my cool side with them, but I get my ambient, high humidity in my enclosures. In the ones I don't do it for everything, like ball pythons, I can read fine, but I do it in some other more sensitive snakes. And dude, when that thing hits 100% humidity, guess what it does? It says it's 56% humidity in there. But I go, look at the glass. It's covered in condensation. It's running down. My Brazilian rainbow boa is nice because it's 100%. I know that humidity is good. The substrate's not soup. I don't just go, oh, well, it says it's 56. I'm going to pour in a bucket of water. No. The substrate's
so
good.
on that note, how are you monitoring your humidity? Like you say, you pour your stuff on your puppy pads. That's going to give you so many days. And then you can.
I kind of go out the same thing, the condensation on my glass. As soon as it starts disappearing, I just go and pour more water. So either one side or another or both will have it. Typically just one side will have it. And then once I start seeing it fade away, that's when I'll go and pour more water. I just pay attention to my cages. I'm constantly looking at these things. I'm looking at my animals throughout the day.
Yeah, you're in there all day, every day, anyhow.
Day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So okay. Yeah. Very good.
I saw Casey roll through. What up, Casey? Guys,
Yeah,
we're almost at 30,000
coming in.
likes in 30 minutes. We're almost there. We're getting close.
What do we got?
Let's get them likes to 30K. We're right at the 30-minute mark. You got it.
What's your favorite boa?
What's up, Casey?
So what would be your favorite boa? And then maybe get into some projects you're doing. Talk some boa morphs maybe.
My favorite boa would be Skittles. She's a sharp Sunglow Jungle Molly. I paid $2,500 for her 6 years ago, or almost 7 years ago as a baby. She's probably one of my biggest investments that I personally made. I paired her twice. She gave me an IMG litter, and then last year she gave me some het blood litter. She gave me a het blood litter, so I got some nice junglos and albino mollies and stuff like that are het blood from her. So she's been like, I've used her. Obviously, those two projects that I started with her, I wanted to have the best bloodline that was in my building, which is Skittles, hands down. She has the best genetics, best color, like best quality as an adult. So like when I go for my big heavy hitting projects, she's my go-to female right away, just because I want the best quality going into that project. And to make quality, you got to start with quality. So those are always my keys. But my big projects right now, I'm working on fire opals, which are sharp bloods. I just made a bunch of hets last year. And then I'm working on an IMG sharp snow glow project. And then I'm working on purple pastel sharp albino sun glows. and then stuff like that. So those are my
Sweet.
3 main projects.
So just like if I started rattling off I mean, you may know, but if I started throwing out a bunch of localities of green tree pythons, people would be like, "What are you saying?
What?
Cyclops, Maniquari, Jayapura, Cyron?" You know, like they'd be like, "Biak, what does that mean? Like you can't get them from Australia? You're crazy." So if I just start throwing that out there, we got a drum beat down here. They want to see these morphs, man. Show us some examples.
Yeah, let us see some stuff. Right on. Y'all, this is a good show. This is good live. Thanks everybody for hanging out. We've been holding 40 plus. I think this whole time.
Yep.
We're 30,000 likes, guys.
30
This
minutes.
is awesome. I mean, we're half hour into it. Let's keep it rolling. Let's keep it rolling.
So what is she?
Skittles, Sharp, Sunglow, Jungle, Motley. This is the girl I was saying.
Jungle Motley.
Gave me my IMG.
What does sharp mean?
Sharp is a type of albino. You got 2 types of albinos. You got sharp. Well, you got a few types of albinos with boas. You got sharp, which is here. You got call albino, and then you got VPI albino. This is a T negative. Call's a T negative, and VPI is a T positive. T negatives are the orangish yellows, and then the T positives are more like a creamy beige color. So, but.
Dude, she's big. I can tell she's working you out, dude. She looks like a handful.
Now,
And then you've got the genes that make them dark too.
So check this out. I'm gonna show you one of her babies, and you'll never think this boa came from her. So here's mom. I'm gonna show you one of her daughters.
This is awesome. This is so awesome.
You see that big boas?
Who can't get excited about some boas? I mean, come on. Boas are just cool, and it doesn't matter. Boas are just cool. They're just awesome.
I love it because it's just like something I know a lot about Brazilian rainbow boas. I'm fully confident. I am a few grand into my breeding project, but I don't know anything about BCC, I'm just excited.
This is her daughter.
Look at the iridescence on that. You put that snake out in the sunlight, holy smokes.
Oh, gorgeous, yeah. This is that orange one's daughter, and this is why I like genetics.
Thank you, sunflowers.
You're knocking it out of the ballpark here.
That thing is crazy dark and so even. Look at the iridescence.
That's what I'm saying. You put that snake out in the right
His belly's
sunlight.
black?
Yes. All the way.
What's the more?
She's a IMG Motley.
Is stunning.
I didn't see that on your page, dude. Did I?
I don't know. So here's the crazy thing, right? Here's where I love genetics, and this is where I geek out. So she came from an orange snake, but if I pair the right snake to her, I can make a solid white snake.
Right.
She came from an orange snake, but can make, and is a black snake, but can make a white snake with a white snake.
That's why you gotta love boas, right? You got the ball python thing with their genes, but it's just something about the boas that they just stand alone over here. It's just something's different.
Secrets.
Right? Very cool, man. This has got me excited right here.
That's amazing.
I'm gonna show you some pattern stuff. So this is what I call a solid because they typically go solid black. So an IMG Molly to me is a solid. Her mom was pretty colorful in pattern, but now I'm gonna show you some like pretty cool pattern stuff.
Hey, here's the thing. He's over in Arizona. He probably not too far for me to drive 8 hours. Right?
No, you could. It would be worth the 4-hour, 5-hour drive. It totally.
Well, it depends on where he's at. Could be like 8, but I mean, either way, just to go for a meat pack, pick up some animals, right?
I have to drive 7 or 8 to Atlanta, Dallas, or KC.
Yeah,
I do it.
It would be worth every minute of it. That's what I'm talking about.
That looks like a Solomon Island ground boa is what it reminds me of down to dorsum. That pattern a little bit.
This guy's an Arabesque, Aztec.
Aztec. Albino. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's got to be Aztec.
It's got Aztec and it's got Arabesque. Now all the speckling.
Sean's got 8. That's awesome.
So what's the Aztec and what's the Arabesque?
So the Aztec is more of the pattern, and then the Arabesque is more of the freckling.
The freckling on the side. Okay.
A lot of that is the Aztec.
I love that.
And then he's 100% het call albino. So I've been showing you some sharp stuff. Yes. So like he's hit another line of albino.
Right,
That-
right.
that
Your
concept
guess was
reminds
call
me-
number 2 or call number 1. Yeah, 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this
Wow.
dude just
Amazing.
There's like what, guys? Two versions. There's albino and there's lavender albino and ball pythons, and there's T positive, T negative, and leopard geckos. This is kind of reminding me of that a little bit.
yes, sir.
Which do you prefer, Anthem, on the T positive, T negative when it comes to like leopard geckos? What's
For leopard geckos, probably T positive. I also prefer it in African house snakes too.
is that right? Okay. See, that looks like a clown with like an orange dream clown, yellow belly or something, cleaning up that pattern a little bit. That's what that
Yeah.
reminds me of.
This is a
Yeah.
hypo jungle.
Yeah, it's got Tamichi cleaning it up. That is just that hypo. You can't go wrong with hypo in any combination of reptile.
No, yeah, this
Right?
is
If
insane.
hypo's available, you can't go wrong with some hypo.
I love how the dorsum pattern changes as it goes down the
Yeah.
body. The rear half of the snake is killer, dude.
And this, so that girl Skittles that I was holding, that big orange girl, this is one of her babies.
Okay.
I'm with you. I'm with you, Leanna. Put that thing in a box and send it now. I'm gassing up the F-150 and heading that direction.
Now,
Driver returns on foot. Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I'm gonna show you guys.
Guys, Guys, this is awesome. Thanks for the likes and follows. You guys are giving Pat, ton. This is support. We just love it. We love it. Okay.
So is that absent of the freckling, but it's Aztec?
This is Labyrinth.
Ah,
Labyrinth. Yeah. I couldn't even think. I'm trying to learn them too.
12 hours.
That is stunning.
Witchy, 12 hours to get to Phoenix. I'm going to drive 13 next year to go to the Daytona show. I'm freaking doing it, man.
So this guy was a dream boa for mine for 5 years. When I first wanted these boas, they were about $12,000. They came down in price, and last year, I think this guy was $2,700 when I picked him up. So finally came down to a price, and I was given an opportunity, and I took the opportunity, and I didn't waste no time and picked them up. So the first opportunity I had to add one of these to my collection, I wasted no time.
I think it's about an 8-hour drive for me to get to you from Bakersfield, so it ain't that far.
Yeah, Bakersfield's 8 hours because my brother-in-law lives there. We just drove there a few months ago.
Oh, see, so get right.
Yeah.
This is even better.
Yeah, you're about 8 hours.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking. This is super cool, man. Those are some super nice reptile boas you got. Look, I'm tongue twisted. Those things are just nice. I love a good. Oh, look at that one. He almost looks like he's got some leopard spots on him.
So he's a paraglow. So this is both. So here's where this gets exciting. This is actually a T positive with a T negative, and they make a double visual het. Or they make a het double visuals or double het visual. So here's how it works. Bull Woman Caramel is a T positive. Sharp Albino is a T negative. But when you put Bull Woman Caramel and Sharp together, they're compatible. They line up on the DNA bracket. Well,
Yes.
what happens is they make a visual double het. So basically, the animals are het Bull Woman Caramel and het Sharp, but together they make a visual, what gives them a look like this. So when you add hypo, so this is Bull Woman Caramel, het Sharp, hypo, which is a paraglow, and then it's het anery. So then you can make Arctic glows, which Arctic glow is basically it's basically a snow or a snow glow, but with Bull Woman Caramel. So it's a whole nother game.
You're not kidding, Sean. That's an encyclopedia. I'd have to have that recorded to play back.
There's my daughter, Abby. Hi,
Man, you just
Abby.
rattled that off like it was nothing.
Everybody say hi, Abby. She just joined the chat.
Hi,
It's
Abby.
my little daughter.
Hey, girl. Okay, Reptile Classifieds. Let's get him on that one. As far as what boas can breed with. I think he just did it trial and error and just reading and researching and doing it. She was just asking about how you got the hang of what to pair with what and, and how to just get it going.
Start from babies. That way you have time to research. Like, for me,
Scruff.
when I first started, I got a Sunglow. Sunglows are hands down my favorite. Boa Morph will always be my favorite Sunglow. I was obsessed with Sunglows. That was the first boa I bought. Was
Good place to
Sunglow.
start.
And then by the time she was ready to breed, I paired her to an IMG. So, a couple years into raising her, I found out the male I wanted to breed, and I ended up putting my pairs together. Now, every pair in here or every boa in here, I know is going to what animal, and I can break down the whole entire pairing and give you exactly what the outcome of the pairing could be. So that takes years to get to. You can't just one day wake up and go like, oh, I'm gonna pair these and break down it takes years of just learning boa genetics and knowledge, So it took me a while to get there.
Abby was with me picking out the shirt. I know she's gonna want to see it. She wants to steal it from me.
Yeah,
how
but
do you
like
remember
he
all
says,
this,
when you're
Pat?
doing it every day and you're in that reptile room every day, researching, reading, learning, I mean, something's going to stick at some point, especially when you have the drive that he does and the love and passion for what he does. And I know a lot of you guys in the comments in the chat are the same way, right? Y'all have that passion and love just the same. I mean, this is awesome. But just to hear it to come from a guy like Pat, and just to see his enthusiasm, this is great. So thankful to have Pat hang out with us on the Naughty Business Show tonight. So thankful.
Yeah. I'm happy to fulfill this niche. This is a piece of knowledge, man, that we were lacking. So I am very glad you did
right.
this
So
tonight,
this is
bro.
just something else for the arsenal we can share to people. Go ask Pat, right? If you got questions or need a boa. Oh yeah, that one right there. That one. That's leopards. What? Huh?
Leopard all day.
That's a leopard.
That's a leopard.
That's a leopard. I'm gonna throw a ball python highway in there.
Because see, like the Sonoran, I love the Sonoran leopards.
Yeah,
the mountain boas.
She's full grown. I've had her 4 years.
So that's her. Oh man, yeah, that's.
I don't think she's getting any bigger.
See, I
man.
love
I've had her
those.
4
I would
years,
love
so.
to work with those. Oh my gosh, beautiful.
I was scared to breed her because I've never really worked with Sonorans, and I never worked with the smaller localities. So I had to even ask a friend this year. I was like, hey man, I've had this girl for 4 years. She was already a year and a half old when I got her. So I was like, she's almost sitting at 6 years.
Oh, she's ready.
But she's not getting bigger. And he's like, yeah, that's as big as she's going to get. He's like, breed her. And I'm like, I'm scared.
Right.
Brian Boas all the time, right? I learned a lot from Brian Boas. The same way like the Terra Humeras. They're like ball python size, the same thing. They're pretty resilient and pretty easy to mess with. It's just no one's working with them, So the Terra Humeras and the Sonoran are two. That one right there is just I'm excited.
Yeah, I think I am gonna pair her this year. I'm scared, but she's almost 6 years old, and I'm like, they're normally ready to breed at 5 to 6 years old. So the smaller they are, the longer they take to mature. And then like localities like BCCs, they just naturally take longer to mature. So there is a difference between like Sonorans, BCCs, and BCIs when it comes to breeding. I'm actually going to make my first attempt ever at breeding BCCs in 2 years because I got my pair. But I've never bred BCCs, but I do hear they do require they do require a lot more humidity, and they do require different house boundaries. So obviously, as these guys are going, I'm going to research that and make sure that by the time they're ready to go, I'm going to have the knowledge I need. One thing that I've seen a breeder do that I thought was very intelligent, and I'm actually planning on doing something very similar in my building next year, is he has a waterfall in the middle of his boa room. And I was wondering, like, why has this guy got a big old pond and waterfall in the middle of his boa room? They like humidity. I was like, how much? And he can breed. He's having litters anywhere from January to October. And I'm like, this guy is brilliant. Like, but he's been doing it almost 30 years. So I was like, this guy's brilliant. So I was like, next year, I'm
I already go and close my koi pond outside around my koi pond, right, and start setting it up out there. Right? That's what I should do.
I've learned a crazy trick recently
This is awesome.
from the green tree python world, where they run a humidifier, a good one, set at say 70%, and they run a dehumidifier in the same room set for 75, and they keep each other dialed in that 70 to 75 or whatever you want to pick, but they've got one of each. And people at first, your first reaction when you hear that, I go, are you insane? Like, why would you get both machines? But one can be too humid and damage your walls in your snake room, cause mold. So yeah, you want humidity up, but it's not a rainbow boa enclosure. You still need it within reason. And so they run some of both. And I was like, wow, that's like insane and genius at the same time.
That's the good part. And here's, I have concrete walls. So a lot of my walls are concrete. So I think for the most part, because it's like this year. So last year I ran it 72, 73 in here, cooler. And it was probably about 40% humidity. I noticed a lot less activity. Like this year, I ran up my temperatures up to 80 with 75% humidity. I noticed a big difference in my animals' behavior. They're thriving a lot better. So, I've only had this building 18 months, so I'm still learning how to adjust with my animals to the building with alignments and all that stuff. Because I came from a snake, I had a bedroom that I bred out of, where I could put a humidifier in there and keep my whole room at 85% humidity without trying. Then I came here and I'm like, man, I started looking into humidifiers and I'm like, we're talking a couple $1,000s for a humidifier big enough for this room.
Really?
And I'm like, man, that's just out of the question right now.
What square footage are you dealing with there?
Right here, I think this room is 1,300 square feet.
Okay, well, see, you're right. I'm like you. I'm starting out in, like 100 square foot bedroom, and then you grow into that, dude.
It's different. It's different. You're like,
congratulations, man.
Why did you make the jump? Like, what was your motivation? It's not at your house, right?
We ran out of room, man. I was like, I just came to the point where I was like, if I'm going to continue to do this, I got to grow. And if not, I got to sell. So I came to basically a crossroad, bro. Like with my career with it, like this is where I can either jump and continue to grow, or this is where I can sell and, back out. And I was like, nah, I came too far and I jumped, man. And even since here, I've grown. I've doubled in growth since I've been in this building. When I came in here, I only had these walls are 40-foot walls. I only had one wall full of racks. Now I got 2 walls full of racks. So I basically built a whole wall in a year. So, I doubled the size. So I jumped in, doubled in, it's rolling. So that's my advice to anybody. If you come to that crossroad and you don't know what to do, go for it. Jump. You're already there. Cross that road.
Yeah. Trust me, I know. Yeah. It's painful, but it's also exciting and really, really so much fun. How many do you produce a year? You said you've had two a year for the last handful of years.
So
how many? I mean, is it like the 20 to 25 like you would with most larger boas?
So with these guys, I average anywhere from 15 to 30 babies, depending on my females. Some females get bigger than others, so and I grow them all the same. I feed them all the same. I don't change anybody's diet. I don't feed anybody more than the other. They all are on set schedules. And sometimes some females just get bigger than the others. Like I have females that are breeding at 5 feet, 5.5 feet, and then I got some females that are breeding at 7 feet, 6 feet, 6.5 feet. So my range is anywhere from 5 foot to 7 foot. But like I tell people, as long as they're 4 foot and their girth is there and they're, they look good, I breed them. And every single time I get almost perfect litters. So I've gotten to the point I'll judge my females. I'll look at, like I said with that leopard, I look at her, there's no way in hell I would breed a BCI that small, bro. I look at that and be like, nah, you need another year or two. But I've gotten to the point where I can just look at my females and be like, okay, I feel comfortable breeding you. And every single time I place that judgment, I've gotten good results. I mean, the unfortunate things happen, like I lost a female, and
right.
So some unfortunate things happen. But for the most part, I have, been able to use my judgment.
So you're running 95, 99%. I mean, your percentage rate for being successful, you're in the 95s, 99, 98. Yeah. Just shy of 100%. Because, right, it's a reptile. It's going to happen. No fault of your own.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
This
How
year
long
with
ago did you move into your facility, man?
Huh?
How long ago did you move into that facility?
December of 2022.
Okay.
So this December will be 2 years that I've had the
Yeah, so
business.
you're 2 years into it. Yeah. Wow, this is super cool.
Yeah.
So you've been doing this 6 years?
5 years I've been breeding. Yep.
So the growth is fast. I mean, of these babies, how many holdbacks versus how many do you sell? Are you on morph market or what's your outlet?
I am on morph market. I do a lot of sales here on TikTok too. So to kind of help my business stay afloat, I did jump into like doing like an online store type deal. I started bringing in retail. I started doing the retail side of things because the fact of the matter, being just a breeder ain't cutting it. It's like I can't produce enough animals to sell throughout the year, right? So to be able to help my business stay afloat, I brought in a retail side of it, and I started doing like an online store, and that's helping balance out. So like right now, a lot of my boas are done. Almost all my babies sold for the year. I produced probably 70 babies this year, and I have like 1 or 2 left for sale. And I only kept 5 back. So I sold a good chunk of my boas this year. So now I'm like, okay, now I go through this. I got ball pythons hatching, but nowhere near enough babies to keep me going. So then I started doing retail, and now retail's actually keeping my business floating. So now the retail's helping me float, so I can focus still on my boas and some of my other little knick-knack projects that I want to.
So yeah, in your context, can you define retail if you don't mind?
So like online store basically. I buy wholesale from a buddy. He does all his animals are clean. He does a lot of goods. He deals with he's basically a big distributor of reptiles, but some of the healthiest animals I've ever seen in my life come from this guy. And he does nothing but that. Like he has standards, and that's why I deal with him, because his standards of quality is health and everything good enough for me to put my name on it. And that's what kept me from getting into the online store type deal, is because I was always worried about buying animals from people that were sick or wild caught or unhealthy, but I don't have these issues. I've never got a snake with mites. I've never got a snake with a respiratory infection. I never got a snake that looked like it wasn't fed. Like top notch animals. So I started buying those and reselling them for retail. So that's how I basically run like an online store with that. So
diversification is key, man. What I know you're a big hobbyist of other species. What else are you working with as far as breeding goals?
So as far as breeding, I breed ball pythons, I breed boas, I just sold all my hognose. I do got like king snakes that I'm raising up. I do got a trio of bull snakes that I'm raising up. I want to get into Cuban nightingales. I got a male. I'm just looking for a female, but once I get a female, I want to breed Cuban nightingales. Nothing crazy, just something I've always wanted to do. I'm actually holding back some baby iguanas that I'm gonna raise up, and in the future want to breed iguanas. So I kind of like started backing down. Like I sold a lot of my milk snakes, and I sold my hognose. A lot of stuff that I can get in on wholesale, I kind of just let it all go, and started just focusing more on my boas and my ball pythons and more of my more important projects, right? Like instead of just, because to be honest, some of that stuff is just for inventory, right? Like being a business, I have to have inventory to sell. So some of that stuff that I sold was stuff that I was breeding just for inventory, but now I can get it. So it's eliminate time there and focus time on my boas and my ball pythons and where I really want to build and grow on my projects. So that's the freedom that the online, I call them online store. That's the freedom that the online store gives me, is that I can dial in on projects that I really want to and not have to focus more of it being a money thing, because now I got the retail to help me financially while I can dial in on my projects. So it's nice to have a healthy balance of something. And I realized real quick doing this as a breeder, most breeders that are doing this, they're not just breeding one species. They got their hands in, different species and variety. Like you said, variety is key, man, to keep it going.
That's what I'm hearing, man. You can't just be
That's what we're hearing a lot of, is have some variety.
Variety, man. It's key to
And
surviving.
also do what you can manage. What you
Yes,
can comfortably manage.
Yes, I tell people that all the time. I spend probably 70 hours a week, 80 hours a week in here just cleaning and feeding and watering and and I don't regret none of it. I do it every single day because I love these animals, you know what I mean? But like I realize like, hey, this me being one person, if I was to get another 200-300 animals, I know I would sink myself. So most definitely keeping it, and that's why I started doing the online store too, because then I was able to eliminate the hog nose and some of the projects that I don't need because I can bring them in on wholesale. I can buy them wholesale now. So I'm like, now I don't need all these extra projects and animals, and now I can just focus on what I really want to focus on and bring in what I can there to be able to keep the bills paid and stuff. So I found that perfect balance.
So on that note right there, you got that figured out and going good. You got to feed all these animals.
Yeah.
Right? Are you raising them? Right. You got a vendor. Right. How do you manage that? Because we know that can be expensive. And
I breed my own rats. I got a rat room upstairs. I breed my own rats. I have 9 rat racks, water systems, all that stuff. I breed my own rats. I do my own rodents. Because yes, before I was breeding rats, it was costing me about $1,500 a month just to feed my reptiles in here.
Right. Yeah.
Now it costs me about $345 a month. So big savings. Just breeding my own rats.
What? Yeah, 1/5. That's awesome. Pure country reptiles. What about Florida?
No, that's good. You breed your own. I had to do the same thing.
I highly recommend it. If you have
that's the only way to.
Yep. If you have a lot of
and it's hard to find that balance, because as you grow, as your reptiles are growing or you're having babies, you're like, am I going to have enough to feed? You got to up your production, and then and if I got too many, and then you got to. It's kind of a balancing act even with that with your rodents, but or you just kind of just let it do what you do, and somebody take some off your hands, and that that works too. That kind of works for me. I got a guy that I help out a little bit, so
Same here, man. Same here.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah, I started my own. I built my own rat rack. I mean, I just have enough. Not enough. I've also got I kind of hybrid between a really, really affordable rat breeder that I see maybe a couple times a month. I mean, I get them for $1 or $2 a piece at various sizes, so you can't beat that. I have 5 females and 2 males in my own colonies. I built a rack. Clearly, the mice aren't doing so well, but the rats are okay. And then I also do some frozen, but the shipping is so expensive that makes it out a little bit prohibitive.
Well,
but
about how many hours? About how much time? Because you got 9 racks. Let's say I can get in my room for like an hour, twice a week, and be good to go. So how much time are you spending in there?
Probably about 7-8 hours a week.
Okay, see, yeah. And then on top of that, you're in your reptile room. It's a full-time gig you got going over there.
It's full-time. I do this full-time,
Yeah.
You do?
Kudos to you,
dude. I've been doing this full-time for almost a year now, so.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're coming on good. And it's showing. You got some nice animals. You can see you got a building.
Dude.
You're doing something right. We'll say that.
Well, I'm a house painter, and I painted houses for 9 years. And the building actually needs to be painted, so the owners hit me up. So I'm going to paint. They sent me a check today. So as soon as I get it, I'm actually going to paint the building I'm renting in, and I'll be rent-free until next June. So I won't have to pay rent.
Right. You already know.
My man. That's what you call the capital H hustle.
It pays off. I'm telling you, I've done, I got $10,000 in cages right here that I traded for a paint job. Some dude was like, hey, I got out of reptiles. I got a 2-car garage full of cages. He's like, it's like $10,000 in cages. He's like, I need my kitchen painted. He's like, it took me 8 hours and 2 trips with a U-Haul. And I walked away with $10,000 in cages. I was like, hey, it pays out to.
Hey, man, success in this business
is
connections.
Yes.
People are like,
you're not a man that's scared to work, so.
I work for reptiles.
That's what I'm saying. You're not a man that's scared to get dirty, so that's why you're doing so good.
Bro, that's killer.
I got a 14-foot Burmese python like that. One of my buddies was giving away. He was getting out of it. He wanted $1,500 for her with the cage. And he's like, hey, I need some painting done. I was like, hey, I'm a painter. I'll paint what you're wanting for it. Give me her and some cash and we'll talk. And I've had her for over a year now. So painted a house to get her too. So.
Dang, dude. That's awesome.
I wish for
Reptiles and feelers. Heck yeah. Right. You can't have any shame, can you? You just got to do it.
Feelers.
Yeah, Joe,
because I wear feelers, bro. I'm like,
that's right.
Love my feelers, bro. I don't forget where I came from.
I got a funny story. I had some Feelers high tops like that, but they had a bright orange swish and a bright orange sole. And you know, I got kicked around in the locker room in 8th grade when I was in JV baseball because of them shoes.
I'm gonna get me some feelers now. Feelers, right? We all got to get some feelers.
Feelers are coming back, man.
Feelers are coming. We're bringing feelers back. Thanks to Pat,
you,
feelers are coming back.
I'll be that guy. I got a pair of Jordans. I wear my feelers more than my Jordans. Like, it was my first pair of Jordans I've had in like 7 years. I'm like, man, I'm cool with my feelers. They're comfortable. Good with them.
Nikes are overpriced and they're not that comfortable compared to other shoes.
No, Air Force Ones, hell no, bro. I used to spend $110 for shoes, and I'd be like, damn, bro, I need to buy some Dr. Souls.
Right.
Yeah, man, I tell you, I made a big screw up. I bought some Hokas, and then I bought some $100 insoles. I was $300 into a pair of tennis shoes to go to Disney World, and them mother jokers killed my feet. I barely wear them things. I cuss them damn shoes every time I see them in the closet. I'm like, you $300 piece of, oh man, I tell you, I wish I hadn't even spent that money. I thought they were going to work out for me. It didn't happen.
Well, guys, guess what? Word of the day is: get the shoes you love to get, and get a lot of them, and promote them, and right good. Look at here, guys. We're here almost hitting 50,000. This is so cool. 50 freaking K. If y'all want to keep it going, let's keep it going.
There's our boy Oblivion.
Anybody got any questions? I mean,
y'all got questions? Shoot away.
What do y'all want to talk about? I mean, what's the nitty gritty of the boa world? I mean, I don't do drama too much. You don't have to get into any kind of drama, but you know, that does go on over there as it does everywhere.
It's just like anything. There's certain mutations that people are breeding. Like, why the hell are you breeding that? Like Mali to Mali, you don't ever want to breed Mali to Mali. You don't ever want to breed a sharp albino to a call albino. Like, there's certain things if you do, people are gonna like question your knowledge as a boa keeper or breeder. You know, like, and it's just, and it's honest for them to do, right? Because if you're coming into, like, if I go into ball pythons and I don't know what I'm doing, which I know what I work with that I have, but I'm no ball python expert by any means. But that's like me going into the ball python world and saying, hey, I have this, this, and this, and people being like, you know what the hell you're doing, bro? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and it's like that with boas. If you get two mollies and you start telling people, I'm gonna breed these together, people are gonna be like, yeah, you shouldn't be doing that. So, you know, it's just kind of, they do have those, you know, do's and don't do's, and, you know, what people gonna, you know, tangle you out for. So
yeah, okay.
Someone asked about, is there any morph that causes a wobble? Like, I know there's kinking, there's bug eyes, mini eyes, there's a wobble.
Scoria does. Scoria has wobble. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. It sucks because it's like spider. It's one of the most beautiful. Scoria for me is one of the most beautiful combos, and I'm not dissing the morph. I'm not down in the morph. I know there's a lot of people that work with it. Me personally, I seen one a month ago that had kind of a corkscrew that kind of just turned me off to it. I was just like, damn, man. And I even asked the guy, like, how often do you get babies like that? And he's like, it's half and half. Like, he's like, out of 10 babies, probably 3 or 4 of them will corkscrew. And I'm just like, and he's like, but their wobbles ain't that bad. I'm like, but it's still a wobble. And as a breeder standpoint and business standpoint, it's kind of not worth an investment to me, because that's going to devalue a lot of my projects. I'm not in this to get rich, but I'm not in this to devalue my projects. I'm in this to make my projects better, because I have pride and integrity in what I work on, right? So I'm not trying to horror my projects. I'm trying to better my projects. So for me, that's a gene that will actually devalue your projects, because everyone with a wobble, it's devalued. You know what I mean? So for me, that's my mindset. That's my focus, is what can I do to keep valuing myself? And it's not that it's about the value, but it just shows when you take pride and integrity in what you breed and you're selective, and, you know, it shows. People will be like, hey, that's somebody that knows what they're doing. They know what they're talking about. and they got a plan, and they going for it. You know what I mean? It just shows where you stand with your knowledge.
Very cool.
Thank you,
Very
Sunflowers. You're awesome.
So
That's
you
great.
also
You know what
keep-
else? Your reputation, bro.
Yeah. So you keep other reptiles. We got in the comments here about your iguanas.
Yes, I do got iguanas. I got a little bit. I got a little bit of every color. We got.
Are you breeding them or are you just keeping them?
So these I bring in on the side, the store
Oh,
side.
on your retail side. Okay. Super cool. Okay.
Yeah. So, and I stay stocked with iguanas because they're like, it's funny because my buddy, when we first started talking, I never did retail before, right? I never bought wholesale. So my buddy, he kind of introduced me to this, and he's like, hey, like, I think this will help you. This is probably the niche you're looking for to get going in life. So, and it was my niche. It helped me get going. But he sent me iguanas, and I was like, dude, I'm not going to sell these. Like, there's no way. I called him a week later. Was like, bro, you got any more iguanas? Like,
More iguanas. Right. Send me
more.
the iguanas.
Now he just keeps me stocked up because they're my
Wow.
number one seller. No.
Wow, that's awesome. That is super cool.
What's up,
Yeah.
Bill Duvall? That is cool. And there are some really crazy colors now. I mean, since the regular old green iguanas, there was localities that were more blue, more brown, more orange, red back in the day. And just like ball pythons, honestly, dude, I completely quit paying attention 25 years ago, literally. Like, I was just like, I seen
Yeah,
it, done
yeah.
it, and then I
Y'all
come back,
keep the questions,
and it's
keep
amazing.
the questions coming in. Keep the questions coming in. That's good.
People want the purple iguana, bro.
I was gonna say I got a purple one. It's pretty dope. I'll
There
show
we
you
go.
that
There we go.
Sunflowers, you're awesome. Thank you so much for your generosity. I appreciate it. I never know what to set goals for. I have no idea. I just pick something random and stick it up there. So thank you so much. I don't know what's better or worse. I just throw something interesting in there. He's definitely got a lavender hue to him.
Yeah, she's fired up right now. So like when she fires down, she's dark purple. So
Wow, that belly is
it's
such a
light purple right now
contrast,
because
too.
it's been basking. But when it fires down, it's like a really dark purple. There it goes. It's
Oh,
starting
I
to-
like that. Heck yeah.
that-
I had an iguana when I was a kid one time. I guess it was a green tree. It was one of my first pets. We had Skinny we must have had Skinny for 12 years or so. I mean, we had Skinny for a while, and as long as we could have Skinny, right? But back then, the 80s and the 80s, I'll age myself, right, a little bit. We didn't know all the proper care and things back then, right? We just did what we thought was right and what the pet store told us. He did pretty well. We never had any mouth rot or any issues with him. I mean, we soaked him, and we may not have been feeding him the correct right? We gave him fruits and vegetables and what they told us to feed him. He seemed to do good for that long, so I guess we did okay with him.
12 years is a long time back then for those.
Yeah, he made it like, seriously.
Is that an albino?
This is my personal one. This is my personal guy right here.
Oh, he is so cool.
Is that
so
the one I put in the promo the other day?
I think so. No, that one was a different one. That was actually a different one that I had. But this is the one that I actually.
The other one was yellow. Was it like a leucistic or something?
It was, yeah. This one is more of a lighter. The other one was more of a gold. But this guy's just got that really deep, dark orange.
That's so
stripe on
cool.
his back and right there.
Okay, so somebody comes to you, hey, I want me one of these cool iguanas. I need me a setup. What would you recommend for me to get?
So I always use the Reptibreeze, those screen cages. I got them in there and they're doing perfect. They like climbing. Those are good because they can climb on them. I try to keep tall sticks in there or something for them to climb on. And then I do use horse troughs for them as well, which they work amazing. Like I've had the best success in horse troughs with these guys. I just put food in the middle, give them one big water bowl, and these guys are just doubling in size by the day. So it seems like they're just growing like crazy. So I just spray it once a day, keep the humidity in there. These guys like nothing. So, but they're pretty cool. pretty easy to take care of too. I think a lot of people like try to do too much for, like, I've seen some of the setups that people have done for iguanas and be like, I don't know why it died. I'm like, because you set it up like it was a green tree python, or like it's an iguana. It don't need a fogger, and it don't need, like, their cage was full of fog. I'm like, you stress that poor thing to death. So they're pretty simple. UVB, light, something to run up and down, give them food, water, happiest things in the world, man.
Huh.
Wow.
Pretty simple.
Now, how big? So they're going to ask you too, right? How big do these dogs get?
Females get about 4 feet, males get about 6 feet with tail.
That's with tail. Yeah.
With tail, yeah.
Super cool.
Yeah, when they're growing up, they're huge.
They get huge.
Mine had a tail. It'd hang all the way down.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
and yeah.
And this is the part that's exciting for me, because I spent so much of my time digging into boas and researching boas and doing boa genetics, which I'll never forget. And as long as I keep dialing on, I'm only going to keep getting better. But now I've gotten to a point where I'm like, I want to know more about everything. I don't want to just be able to talk about boas. I want to be able to hold an iguana and be able to tell you about the iguanas, how to care for them, how to grow them, how to, like. So now my brain, I was like, I want to expand. I want to just go from boas to, I want to expand my knowledge. I don't want to just know about boas and boa morphs. Now I want to know about iguanas, iguana morphs. I want to go down the line and just keep growing. And then I don't even want to stop with reptiles. I want to learn small mammals. I want to learn birds, because variety is key. I don't want to stay, for me, this is just my opinion on it. It would be small-minded for me to just stay in the boa lane, because I'm making a business out of this, and I want to educate myself and make sure that I have the best knowledge that I can provide to somebody. Knowledge ain't for me, it's for me, but it's for the people that I'm educating too, right? This is why knowledge is important.
Ding, ding, on the nose, brother. Yep.
And this is why it's important
to
know what you're talking about too, because I've seen people get on TikTok talking about reptiles, and I'm like, man, you're giving out so much information.
You have everything. That can't be, bro.
Yeah. So that's also
you know what you, because I could watch somebody and be like, hell no, that no.
Yeah.
I'll be like, man, I hope nobody listens to what this person's saying right now. Like,
so one, you were on the right show, because that is the same thing we are doing, and two, we know enough between the three of us with our different knowledges and experience to realize that we, well, obviously we love reptiles and stuff, but that there was more we wanted to know. AKA, that's why you're here. That's why we have Spood Lover. That's why we have Casey. That's why we have TNA Chameleons. Because there's just other things that, we know a little bit about them, but do we know enough to be successful or to share information? And I can't speak for all three of us, but I know for me that I really wanted to know. I wanted to dial some things in. I've kept everything from Philippine sailfin dragons, chameleons, basilisk, iguanas, blood python. I've done everything in the last 30 years. Except for really monitors a whole lot. I've had tegus, but I had monitors and the large species of snakes at I worked at a reptile shop and I was a keeper at the St. Louis Zoo. So I've worked with some really big animals. I just didn't keep them. I didn't have the space and the resources for it, so I never kept really big ones. But there's this, you know enough to know you don't know crap. And then you're like, well, if people come to us, get in our lives and our hangouts, that's how three of us started jiving, was they kept coming to us, asking us questions, and we're like, well, we know some stuff. We'll tell you what we're going through, but we're being very transparent. Like, this is what's working for me, but I can't say textbook, this is what it is.
Yeah, let's find out.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
let's
the gist
find
of
out,
this
get
show.
someone here that does, and let's clear up some nonsense, right, that we know is not right, and to help you get right. And then so the show evolved because of that. To have all you guys with all this different knowledge, no matter what it is, to come on here and just write and just help educate and just to keep people involved, with this the hobby.
Yeah, for sure. And that's where it's at with me, man. Is like, I know a lot of people look up to me because of my boa knowledge, and I tell people all the time, like, man, that's when I do my lives, I'm always trying to give knowledge. And I don't, I see some people, they'll ask for galaxies and I'm like, man, my knowledge is free. Like, if you guys want to come gift me, cool. but I'm not going to ask for a certain amount of galaxies or something for knowledge. Like, I just want to give it to you because it was given to me. And some of the stuff I learned because of trial and errors, I've learned watching my animals. So that kind of stuff I want to share with people because not everybody has the opportunity to stand in front of 125 boa constrictors and watch them every day and understand their body languages or understand what they're trying to tell you. That's where I come in and try to help with that and be like, hey, this is what I've learned from just understanding my animals. So,
yes.
And I give you facts off of what they're telling me. They're giving me the information and I'm giving it to them. So like, it kind of like, I tell people all the time, your animals will tell you more than anybody could ever tell you. You gain your knowledge from that and you give your knowledge down. That's how I look at it as a breeder.
100%, dude. And I mean, I knew I just love what you were doing from the get-go. I've been popping into your lives before I ever started talking with you.
50,000 guys, 50,000. Keep it going. If y'all want to keep it going, let's keep it going. Pat's just, I mean, this is home run stuff he's putting out here.
Yeah, and so, man, I've been kind of popping into your lives for a while. Like, I do a lot of, I mean, I hope you could tell from my promos and some of our texts between each other. You know, I do a lot of research. I'm a people person, and I'm not a one-upper. I like to celebrate other people's successes, and even if you're telling me about the first little $10 leopard gecko you got, I want to see that excitement. I want to share that excitement. I'm not going to tell you, well, I got a $1,500 purple leopard gecko. I'm not going to tell that and just squash you. That's not fun to me. I like to uplift people and hear, you know, and like your slogan on your logo. I mean, that's how I live. I'm not a hugely religious guy, but the golden rule, dude, the golden rule: treat others how you would like to be treated. And I think that makes the world go round. The more we can love each other and uplift.
Let me address something right quick. I'm going to steal the show right quick. Dream Jumpers come in here about why not ask the herpetologist. I'm not ignoring you. We're just trying to let Pat rock and roll here. Well, Anthem, our team member, she is a herpetologist, and we as reptile people that know her, we ask her a whole ton of questions about all kind of stuff, right? Because of her knowledge. But even her knowledge doesn't know everything about every reptile in the hobby. Okay? So what she's experienced with, and we go there first, right? Because she's our herpetologist friend. And she goes, okay, well, I'm aware of this or know this, but we need to go check over here because they know more than, right? And we find the right way. Not everybody knows everything about all of it, but we do check our herpetologist friend first all the time. So yes, if you know someone that's in herpetology, yes, go to the herpetologist for sure, right? Because they should know, or most of them do know, unless they just focus on their species and the local, the native species. But then you got the ones that are into the exotic reptiles like Anthem is and a whole slew of other ones in the country. Right. Use your local, yes. If you have access and know somebody that is, definitely field questions to them and then go out to someone else because their knowledge is going to be, yes, very powerful, the same. But very good, Dream Jumper. Thank you for that. That's very good.
And here's to top that out. Like, the whole reason why I'm into reptiles is when I was a kid, there was a guy that went to my school with a Burmese python. He had a tortoise that had wheels as legs because his back legs had to get cut off. So come to find out, I know that he's very well known here in my city. His name's Wildman Phil. He's actually here on TikTok too. He has alligators. He went and got he has a zoo license. He can own anything he wants to in the state of Arizona, more stuff than any of us can own. And he's been in my building and we've talked. And it's crazy because the man is very knowledgeable, but when it came to breeding, he was asking me so many questions. And I'm like, and we had that conversation. I was like, hey man, like, ain't you like a herpetologist? Like, ain't you out there? And he goes, yeah, man, but we don't get hands-on with breeding. Like, we don't understand this side of it. And it was cool. And I love talking to this guy because I get to learn a lot of the outside stuff. And he loves coming to, he's like, dude, he wants to even do breeding projects with me. He's like, hey, if I give you this, will you breed it for me? Because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm like, yeah, dude, like, you're the reason why I'm into this. Like, heck yeah, I would do a breeding project with you just because I think it would be cool, you know? But, you know, it's cool And that's what makes this community what it does, is all the breeders that specialize in what they do. You know what I mean? It's like, just like mechanics, a mechanic's not a mechanic. Some mechanics can only work on motorcycles or semis, and some mechanics only work on certain vehicles, right? Like some mechanics can work on anything. It's like that in this trade. Some people just specialize in certain things, and some people specialize in it all. So,
well, and even on that same note right there, okay, you've got all this knowledge and information. Now we get into vet care, right?
Yeah.
What about vet care? Well, you're herpetologists. A lot of herpetologists, especially Anthem, she knows a lot of techniques about things to do for vet care. Well, I have access. A friend of mine actually works at a vet clinic, and she has a rescue out here, okay? Well, I can field questions to her first, and I can field questions Anthem, you know, and then see, right, who says what, and Anthem's tried stuff, she's tried stuff. That's just more knowledge for me to share to other people and help me come up with something that can work, you know? So
And the further
it's good to know and have all these people in your arsenal. It really is.
Resources and connections. If you want to go next level and you make it to the big time, and like you, man, you're going full time. That's everyone's jelly. Like, that's so cool.
Yeah, utilize the resources that you have, right? Herpetologists, veterinarians, your local breeders and keepers, hobbyists, whatever it is that are in the reptile hobby. Try to find those people for information. And
I'm personal friends with someone that is a veterinarian who's in grad school, post-vet, and does research, and even she has questions. Even she's bouncing off stuff. Even she's learning. And she just said Monday night on Trap Talk, she said that they only get one elective class. It's an elective for reptiles and amphibians. They don't come out of vet school with any great knowledge. She's like, you got to specialize in it. It's almost like, you know, if you're a doctor, yeah, you get an MD, and you can go to general medicine or family practice. But if you want to like be emergency medicine or ortho or cancer or anything else special, guess what? You just bought yourself 4 more years. You have to go. It's post grad work, and you have to qualify and get into that. And even her as a vet in grad school, and she does consults on the side. She hosts Trap Talk on Sunday nights, and she has questions. I mean, you can't ever stop learning. And even people with the most knowledge still that are any good at their job or worth a grain of salt admit, man, I'm struggling with this. What did you do, Patrick? What did you do?
Okay, so on that note, then there, right? You're talking about husbandry and keeping and trying to ask for help if you got, you know, veterinarian help and stuff like that. What is something common that you're worried about with your boas, say veterinary wise, health wise? I know there's some, not like IBD's a thing. What's that goes through boas? That
IBD?
Yeah, like IBD or something. Is it IBD? Okay.
It is. So 3 years ago, a lot of females that I'm breeding or that have produced for me in the last 3 years, I've actually tested. A lot of my babies have been tested. And I'm one of those people that if I do see something weird, I do get the animal tested. If anything comes back, I take it to the vet and get it put down. So I just don't risk it spreading. So I do highly recommend people, you know, like I do, I watch my boas, but I know my stuff's tested. Some of these females have bred 2 to 3 times for me. One thing I've noticed with IBD, that if a female does have it, typically their first time ever breeding, it triggers it. So a lot of times when a female does have IBD, they'll be triggered right off their first breeding, because what triggers it is stress, you know, uncomfort, like taking them out of their comfort zone, stressing them out. That is one way to trigger it. Well, breeding is stressful, right? It's stressful on the females. So that is one of the biggest triggers for it to come out. So, you know, when I first started hearing about it, I went and got all my boas tested. You know, everything came back good, so we started breeding. But I still watch my animals, and I do, you know, there are a couple that I have, you know, to put down because I just didn't like what I was seeing, and something came back. So I was like, nope, gotta go. And by God's good grace, I didn't put them with nothing else, because once you pair them, like if I pair something and one has IBD, I put the mom, the dad, and the whole litter down if I have babies. So I waste, you know, I don't risk putting anything. I tell people all the time, I want to be the solution, not the problem, right?
Right.
The problem
There you
is
go.
you got enough
There you
people
go.
bleeding, putting that stuff out there. The solution is testing your animals and eliminating putting that stuff out there. So work with clean animals, test your animals. I've had people come to me and be like, hey, I want boas, but I'm scared. And I'm like, anybody that's bought animals from me, I've nothing but healthy animals. I refuse to send anything out of my building if it's unhealthy, if it's sick or anything. So money is never that important to me. The care of the animal and the animal's well-being is more important. So
Nice,
that's
bro.
number one.
That's top shelf. Man, that's the way you grow, is with integrity. That's bad. That's badass right there. That's perfect.
Yes, sir, man.
Well, I know you've shared before on that one. I saw one of your interviews. You had a clip on your page. But we don't got to dig too deep into it. But you said, things were pretty bad, 6-7 years ago? And, and you kind of like either refound or really got deeper into your faith, found faith. I mean, what was life like before you kind of found that? I mean, you said you were rough. You were out in the streets. You just weren't living good. And MJ says the same thing. And like I admit now, I used to drink too much. Like we all have things that you kind of grow and learn from. And I think when you're a good adult, you learn from your mistake. You're big enough to not recreate it. We're all going to screw up. We're all human. We all have sins, right? But you got to have to be honest about it with yourself and with others and grow from it. And repeating the same mistakes chronically is really where the problem is.
So basically, something was your wake up moment, right? Sometimes we all need that wake up moment.
Yep. So my wake up moment was 6 years ago when I was homeless, living in my car. I was homeless for about 6 months, and I was living in my car. I was sleeping in parking lots. There were times I would sleep in my mom and dad's parking lot to their apartment complex, and I can't count how many times. I don't know how my dad freaking even knew half the time, but there were a couple of times my dad even would go knock on my window and be like, son, come inside. And I'm like, nah, man, I'm good. And I've cried myself to sleep, and it was hard at times. And I wouldn't let nobody help me because I put myself there. And I told myself, hey, I'm not going to be a problem to nobody. I put myself here. I'm going to find myself out of this. And that was the problem, is I was trying to do it by myself. I tried it for about 3 months. About 3 months into being homeless, I found God one night. I started praying, and I was just like, man, God, I don't want this no more. I can't do this. Everything I tried to do is just falling apart. Like, I just want to be successful. And if that means you being dead center of whatever I build, God, I'm giving you my life right here, right now. That night changed my whole life. I went from being homeless that night 6 years ago to now owning a business, doing it full time, have, my family. Like it's all because I know with all my heart, without a doubt, because I keep God dead center of everything I do. God is dead center of everything I do in this business. And I told God that as long as I grow, I will make sure that you're dead center of this business and that everything I do is for your glory. So that's
very inspiring, very, very inspiring to hear you pull yourself up and do what you're doing. I mean, that's just an awesome testimony right there. I support that, the truth of that, man. Yeah, this is what we need to hear. This is what people need to hear, right? No matter who you believe in or what you believe in, there's some higher being or higher power, whatever. Sometimes you need to look at and ask for that help, and then the people around you, right? Then those people that you need will come to you. It'll happen if you put it out there like you did.
Bro, I'm so glad you said that, because let me top off the cherry, right? I'm glad you say that, bro, because right after I prayed that prayer, not even 2 months later, I ran into my wife. And here's the cool story. I've known my wife for almost 20 years. We were together when we were kids, teenagers. Her mom died. We went our separate ways for 14 years. I got married. She went through a relationship. Well, once I was homeless and I prayed that prayer, 2 months later, I ran back into her. And I told God if I ever found her again, I was going to marry her and she was never going to leave me again. And I did. I married her. But it is so amazing how I went from being homeless to finding my wife, to getting my business going, to having a place to live, to getting, it was like boom, boom. It wasn't right away, but within 2 months, me and my wife were together. Within 3 months, me and her brother were shaking hands, becoming business partner. Within 6 months, he dropped $20,000, $25,000 into the business. Within 5 years, here we are. I just sat down with him 3 weeks ago. I'm actually buying the business from him. So we're in the process, me and my wife are actually in the process of buying the business and owning the business. So
I know what I see.
The business is doing, so.
Yeah, I know what I see, and congratulations on those home runs, man. The sky's the limit for you, right? There's no limit, no stopping. Dude, hey, you're welcome to my campfire any day, anytime. It don't matter.
Hell
right?
yeah, Pat, man. I love you, dude. I love your message. Like it's like, you know, and you're not like here trying to convert everybody. You're just here being positive as an example. And I asked, and I wanted to ask, and I wanted you to share, but it's like you carry yourself in the right way that people are attracted to your world, to your realm, and then just being positive and everything you just said.
It shows with what you do. You're thankful, but you're also humble.
Right.
I don't know anything else, bro. And here's why
you're not boastful. You're proud and happy for what you've succeeded, your success.
Absolutely.
Dude.
And you know what the key was to that, bro? Here was the key to that. It's because I know what it's like to have nothing. I know what it's like to be in a car 6 years ago, and I know what it's like to be in a building today.
There you go, right there.
That is why I don't boast, and that is why I don't pound on my chest, because I know in a heartbeat, God gives and God can take away, bro.
That's right. It's all gone.
To me, He can take it away. And the beautiful part about that, not only did, we sit down and talk to my business partner about buying him out, but God actually also sent a really good friend into my life that I've been dealing with the last 8 months, and he's the one that actually helped me get into the retail. He's actually took me under his wing, and he's like, hey, I see something in you, dude, and I want to help you. And this man has helped me and my wife beyond measured, and I'm doing it full time because of this man's help. He was God sent 100%. There's not a doubt in my mind that God did not send this man to our life to help us get where we're at. And his name is Randy. And I want to say thank you, Randy, for everything you're doing to help educate me and help me get in the right track. And this is why I believe in second chances in life. Randy believed in me and gave me a chance when nobody else did. Randy seen something in me, and he gave me that chance. He gave me a second chance that nobody else gave me. And I always will believe in second chances. And if you're in a position and you see somebody, give them a second chance. I believe in second chances because I was given one, and look what I did with it. So not everybody's going to throw it away. Some people are going to take that second chance, and they're going to make the best of everything they got out of it. So some people are just hungry for that second chance.
Man, that's awesome, bro. That is awesome.
That is awesome.
I got goosebumps. Awesome. I got goosebumps.
Yeah, guys, keep the questions coming in. We see all the support down there in the comments for your story you just told, and it just shows you. It just shows in the love you have for what you do. I can't reiterate that enough, and how that's going to help. Your passion is just right. You guys just feed off of Pat's passion and love for what he does, and let your hobbies and enjoyment just thrive like that. Just don't let someone stop you. Right? Don't let someone stop you, get you down.
I tell people all the time, bro, and I live off this. I tell people I didn't get where I am because I listened to people. I got where I am because I didn't listen to people. Don't listen to people, because if I would have listened to people, I would have never been nothing. I would have been exactly what they said I was, nothing. But God told me I was somebody, and God gave me a name. Even though the world told me I was trash, and I was never going to succeed, and I was never going to do nothing. The God's honest truth, half these people that said these things and claimed these things over my life are now working at gas stations or fast food restaurants. I see people all the time, and I'll be like, man, that's crazy, babe. I tell my wife all the time, they made fun of me in school and told me I was a loser and I was, special ed and all this. Hey. And I said, here I am owning a business, and here they are living the life they told me I was going to live.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Hey, I just got our new show idea. We're going to have the Reverend Pat Power Hour. We're freaking doing
Hold on. But if we're going to do that, we're going to have to dig into Pat's past a little deeper. And we're going to have a dance-off right now. I heard you don't break dance no more because you're getting old.
Oh, yeah, we're supposed to pop and lock. We hit 50K.
So we're going to have to announce our guests here, our guests for next week, because we always like to tell people what's coming up. So the people that tune into the show and stay, they kind of get a little cherry on top and hear about what the guest is next week, because we keep it a secret. But You don't have to break dance. We ain't expecting no worm or head spins here, but you and Dread have got to have a pop and lock right now and celebrate that pass.
Man, I was back in the 80s doing some popping and locking with Breaking 2, Electric Boogaloo, and all them right.
Pat was probably doing it in the 90s with the new techniques. He's going to show you up, dude.
He's good. Yeah, I can't. Oh man, it's been a while.
It's been a while, dude. I can't. I'll throw out a spleen if I try to get too wild. Y'all be calling 911. Go to Dreads. Go to Dreads.
Oh, come here,
Here's
Randy.
a funky song. Here, I'm going to put on some music. I'm going to see if I can get this going.
Hey, don't get on the floor and not get up.
It's like you gotta put him on the big screen like his dance in there.
Hey, I do the Roger Rabbit. I do the...
I think that's on the dance too. That's a great beat, man. Gotta go for that one.
There you go. You got to go, man. That was fun. That was fun. See, guys, you got to have fun.
Gotta have fun with life. Got to.
Yeah, man, we always keep it upbeat. You know, that it's naughty business, but I don't know if you noticed, but it's with an O, not an A, because it's, you know, Dread Not Pythons and obviously my name. So, but yeah, man, this has been awesome. This has been awesome.
You have been the best guest. This has been excellent. This has been an excellent show. I mean, Pat, thank you. Right again, dude.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for giving me the opportunity.
You got a brother for life right here. So we're
Man. I hope this is the start of something big. I hope we can keep this going, man. I mean, I just always want to learn from others, and so I think I have a lot to learn from you. And if there's anything you ever need over here in the old Midwest, man, let me know.
For sure,
And
man.
hey, you come to Baco and want to do lunch or something. I mean, I'm here, and if I ever can get your way, same. It is.
Sounds like a plan, man.
Dude, I'll go to lunch with you. I'll take you to lunch. Whatever.
I'm about 90 minutes from Memphis. Otherwise, in the middle of nowhere, pretty much. I don't think you'll end up my way, but if you end up in Memphis, man, I'll meet up with you.
I know. I'm trying to get out to Oregon. We'll see, man. I'm trying to get out to Oregon because it's beautiful out there, and I really want to go spend a weekend in Oregon. So
You should.
Oregon is beautiful.
That's my thing too, is I want to travel, and I've been able to do that a lot this year. Like this year alone, I've been to California 3-4 times. I've been to Vegas twice already, or once, and then, I'm trying to go out to Oregon. So if that happens, then this year I've traveled more than I've ever have any other year. And it's all just reptile related, or getting to, the cool thing is being here on these social medias, you get to meet family. Like half the people that follow me, I don't even call them friends. They're my family. Like I love these people, and I would love to meet every single one of them. Like and they feel the same about me, Like I'm like, guys, we're a family, and where I go, you guys go. If I go up, you go up. If we go down together. Like there is no me, there's us. We're a team, and I take care of people that I love, man. And if you're with me when I have nothing, you're gonna be there when I have everything. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's just the kind of person I am, man.
You bet, man. Guys, keep it rolling. Do what you want to do. I mean, if anybody wants to jump in the box, what you like or dislike. I mean, we don't want to take up all your time, Pat.
I'm free. You guys are good.
Yeah,
We got to announce the guests.
We try to give you all the time we can, and then if you guys want to hang out or somebody wants to get in the box, we allow that at some point. If you want somebody in the box, we'll put your people in it, right? And just kind of have fun. What you like, what you dislike, what your ideas.
There is one more boa I want to show you guys. There is this.
Okay.
So this was another boa that I've been wanting for years, and I finally got one 2 weeks ago. So I'm really excited to show you guys this boa.
There's Holly, there's Erica, sweet. Very cool.
I saw them pop up requests, and there is definitely his right hand ladies. They're always hanging out on his lives. They're good
Erica's
friends.
been blowing it up, man, helping to support the channel and everything. Thank you. This is
Oh, look, it's a fire. Or what is that?
Super fire.
the
Super
super fire.
fire.
So like a ball python, you got super
It's
fires.
a resistant. Yep.
Yeah.
The black eyed Lucy.
So,
Beauty.
yeah.
The
While we
bows.
still got a bunch of viewers, let's tell them who our guest is next week. Are you guys ready? Can we get them drum emojis? We gotta get them drum rolls going.
Let's go.
Ding, 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 ding,
Next
ding, ding,
week's
ding.
guest is none other than the Kyle Hoffman of Royal Ambassador Pythons. And if you're in the ball python world, you will know that Kyle Hoffman is a big freaking deal. He's been doing it professionally 15 years, pulls down a whole lot of money, and he is a mover shaker, and everyone big knows him and says what
Let's
a
just
great
say
and smart
this.
guy he is.
Let's just say this: you're going to want to tune in to that show because Kyle Kyle calls it as he sees it, and it can be very interesting. So.
And you might want to record it and play it at half speed later because he talks a mile a
Yeah,
minute.
because he talks real fast. We got some good topics he's going to talk about.
And we're not just going to do ball python talk. We never do just ball python talk.
Yeah,
It's way too
yeah.
broad.
Yeah.
He's going to show us and tell us about some of his breeding techniques. He's going to show us how he ultrasounds, educate us how to ultrasound, talk about which models are worth the money. If you are that level, at what point are you at that financial level? Is it a dumb investment? And he's going to show us, break out his machine, show us ultrasounding live on the show. He's going to talk about needle aspiration of an egg in utero, well, not uterus, but in the oviduct to save a female life when they're egg bound. He's going to talk about males in pantyhose. I might wear pantyhose for the show. I mean, we got all kinds of stuff going on. We have no idea.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty. This show could get very wild. We'll see. So stay tuned for Kyle next Wednesday.
Naughty
7 p.m.
Business.
Central Time on the Naughty Business Network. The Naughty Business Network.
Like it.
Y'all, we're gonna take over.
Hey, dude, everyone I talk to, I know this stuff has been going down for some time in YouTube world. It's a glutted market. They're a dime a dozen. It's hard to stand out and be special. And we're doing this. This was really Dred's idea. I've run with it. Anthem is our grounding. She is our center that keeps us honest, keeps us laughing. We give her crap. She gives us crap twice as back. And so it's just a great, great friendship. And we just have found a niche that on TikTok, this ain't happening. And I got people really starting to notice. People that are YouTube famous are telling me, dude, you guys are doing something awesome. That this is rad. And we're just trying to not throw it out there too hard and just get our legs and get solid viewership, solid base. And right now, week 5, I think we're really proving this is no fluke. Every week, we're hitting new hurdles and we're holding higher viewership. And this is organized and scheduled for a reason because TikTok's kind of the Wild West. And we're just doing something fun because it's approachable for people in the comments to get to the guest. And we do act as Anthem over here was the bouncer earlier. Thank you, Anthem. We love that. That we want them to be respectful and we let them have questions, but that we want it to be a focus on you, Pat, like tonight. So we're here. Go follow Graceful Serpents if you're not already. Please go follow our guest account that's in the box over there. We need 500 followers to get video access, but we just want to do something different. This is YouTube-ish. I get it. But it's on TikTok. It's a lot more live, raw, real, and it's like right up with the guest. A lot more real.
This shit's better than YouTube, man. This is where it's at. This
It's
is where
fun.
it's at right here, the Naughty Business Show. This is where it's at.
It's
Oh,
fun.
that's fun.
It's been a good ride.
What else, Pat? Well, I mean, what else? I mean, day to day, that's your life. You're getting up, you're eating, drinking, and sleeping, dreaming, whatever. Snakes, and rats.
Yeah, my wife is to the point that literally that's all I eat. Like I breathe that shit. Like I'll be talking to my wife and she'll be like, man, I really don't want to hear about snakes right
It's
now.
like, I don't want to hear it no more, right?
She's like, can we talk about something else? Because you're like, for me, it is. It's always like, how can I look at my family and I look at my background. I grew up poor. I grew up in a gang. I grew up, a rough life. I was given a second chance in life, which was my daughter. The day I was shown the pregnancy test and it was positive, the day I made the change to change my life for the better. And there's not a day that goes by where it's always in my brain. What can I do to better myself? What can I do to take this to the next level, to keep it going for my family? My family is my number one. Obviously, God. God is my number one, and then my family is right there, man. That's my second motivation I have to keep getting up, because this shit it takes a lot, man. Doing retail, breeding, you know, I got to take pictures. I got to, you know, take care of my animals, post these animals, meet people, sell them, ship them out. Like, it's a lot. My wife has actually became a partner to me, and is actually, so she does the labels. I send her the information. She prints them out. She cuts them. So, like, now we work together as a team. And that's what she said. Hey, since I'm so involved, let's sit my brother down. Let's talk about buying them out, and I'll be your business partner. So as soon as we get him off the LLC, I'm going to put her on the LLC. Me and her are going to finish growing this business together. So we're
Very
gonna finish
cool, man. Very cool.
business.
That's rad, bro. That is awesome.
It takes a lot to run this.
Yeah.
And you need people. You're going to need people in your circle that you can count on, people that you can trust, you know.
Yes.
And I'm learning that the more I get into business, the more I'm realizing, like, I'm going to need an accountant soon. I'm going to need, you know, people that I can call and be like, hey, like, how do I do this? And what do I do here? Like,
Yep.
the more people I'm starting to get, and the more you start to climb, the more you're going to start realizing, like, you're going to start getting deeper into that stuff. So let's go in his elephant trunks.
Yeah, that's funny. Man, yeah, dude. I understand that, right? Mrs. Dredd has to help me. She's the numbers girl and the right.
Yes.
So without her support, this being my hobby, she's taking over. She's going to take over all that, you know, the retail side, and she's doing some stuff like you, some store stuff, right? She's working on some things just to help the hobby out, and you have to do that. You do, man, because I want to be success. I mean, it's a hobby, but I want to have a successful hobby, you know.
Right.
And if it grows into something more than this, like we're doing the show, and if it grows into something more then we'll just let it happen. But it is. You have to have that support. You have to have help. It is hard to do it on your own. I couldn't do it without her.
For sure.
None of this would have happened without her. So,
Yeah.
If you want to go, if you want to get there fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
Yeah, there you go.
yeah. So,
Like, my wife never even liked reptiles. She dealt with them, and she learned to tolerate it because of me. She actually started breeding geckos this year, and she produced 122 crested geckos her first year breeding ever. She went big into it. She came to me back in November, and she's like, babe, I want to breed. And I said, no. I said, this is the road we're going to go down. If you want to breed, find something you want to breed. Because if you don't enjoy it, it's going to feel like a job, and you're going to be miserable. If you like what you're doing, you're going to have fun with it, and it's never going to feel like a job, even though it is work. So she got the geckos, and she's in love with crested geckos. I dropped, you know, I invested into it, and she took off running with it, and she's already made over half her money back. And I'm just like, that's crazy. But she never thought she would be a breeder. She never thought she would be invested into reptiles, and here she is, a crested gecko breeder. So, you know, now she's getting into gargoyles, and she wants to get into lychees, and, you know, she wants to start expanding to different species of geckos. And I'm right here encouraging it. I'm like, let's go. Let's do it. Like, I'm down.
The
Like,
lychees
I'll
are
never
getting
tell my
really
wife no.
popular these days, dude. The lychees have got a good, loyal following as a species.
yeah.
They do. So
So do you do? Have you even vended any shows? Or you probably don't even need to vend a show.
I
At
do
this
vend
point.
shows. I do the California Super shows. I do Anaheim and Pomona, both of those. I did. Let's see. Those are the three I do now. I did one in Arizona last year. I wasn't a fan of it, but like I said, I'm entertaining one in Oregon right now. You know, I would like to try to travel a little bit more to vend a few more shows. But right now, my main shows are the Super shows in California. Those are
Do you
my
have Reptile Nation or Repticon, or what do you have in Phoenix?
I don't know who. I know we have Repticon here, and then there's a guy named Dave. He hosts the Super Show, and it's just him. So he's just a in-state show guy. He's not big like Repticon or nothing. He just does.
You
a
got so
show.
you have a good Phoenix show?
He's our only Phoenix show. So yeah, his Phoenix shows, like, we get them in November and April, and they're like our two biggest shows here in Arizona. But there's such a long waiting list. Like I'm on like he said I'm next in line, but it could be a year or two. He said so.
To vend?
Yeah, I'm on a waiting list right now. So,
Huh. I kind of thought there was maybe a little bit of a void out. Well, I guess there is. If you got to wait that long to get on a show, what I see in your future is you promote your own show.
I thought about it, but
I knew it.
I did think about it. Don't get me wrong. I thought about it actually last year, and I actually talked to somebody last year I talked to somebody about being an invest. Like we talked about it, and to them it just wasn't worth the investment because they're like, this is what we're gonna have to do. This is what we're gonna have to promote, and we're looking at like $30,000-$40,000 to throw a show, and he was just like, it's just not worth what. You know, especially here, one's never been put here. So he was like, for me, it's not worth it. I was like, no, I get it. But we did talk. I did talk to somebody about it, and they entertained it, but it just didn't make sense. So, you know, insurances and all the other stuff that you got to jump through. It just
There's a lot that goes on to put a show on like that. For sure.
Yeah, you don't just rent a building and throw a show together. It's not that easy, bro. So
Yeah.
What about something smaller, more more selective in the vendors, a smaller vendor base? There's a really good one. Oh God, I think it was in the Northeast. The plants and something or another. It's like really a who's who. Like, what if you put on something in Flagstaff that was kind of multi-state that could draw some people in from a few regions, and it was more small and high end instead of like a big Repticon competitor? I don't know.
Well, they tried doing a show in Kingman this last December, and it was an epic fail. Like nobody. There was only like 300 people that walked through that show. I think there were a lot of vendors that were upset.
There ain't a whole lot out in Kingman, so I don't know if that was a good idea to put a show in Kingman.
I thought the same thing. I was like, that's rough to even pick that location because I was like, Kingman is like, it's dead, dude. Like, there's nothing.
Dude, I don't even like driving out to get to Kingman to get somewhere. Is this? Oh my gosh, yeah, it's not. Yeah,
you definitely want to go more central or more east. You don't want to go. You don't want to go. No, that's rough. So I was just like, you know, and it failed, and I was just like, you know, so like I said, there's one guy that does one in South, which is like Tucson, and then there's one guy that does it in Mesa. But the guy in Tucson, he only does one a year. I went to it last year. I wasn't a fan of it. So, you know, it was just like, for me, if I'm going to vend in shows that, like, I kind of want, like, I'm going for those bigger shows because they're more worth it, right? Like, these little ones are, you know, every show's a risk.
Like
but
Pomona.
You take more of a risk with ones that ain't as popular or ones that ain't as, you know.
Yeah, Pomona, that for sure. I totally get it. Go to the super shows.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm in the
Go ahead.
I'm in the rock, like fossil wire wrapping jewelry world. And one thing that a lot of the artists do is they'll host like events at their studios or their homes. So you get like a group of close friends, fans, supporters. They pay a certain price, and you host it's almost like a lunch or a dinner where you have just like finger foods. People walk around. They get the option to purchase animals with a certain discounted price because they paid for a ticket to come. And then you also share your knowledge. So the whole entire pool for someone to even buy a ticket is that they come out, they get to meet you. They get to learn some of, you know, the knowledge, see the projects. Maybe you have projects that you haven't talked about that they get a little sneak peek on, and a certain discount on things that you have for sale. And that's not really something that I've seen a lot in the reptile world, but I've seen it a lot in the jewelry and rock world, especially now the economy is a little shaky. So that's actually food for thought, possibly.
Yeah, dude, that could be something for any of us to do. Sure. That's a good idea.
I can see it now. The Graceful Soiree.
Dude, that could be it. Yeah. Right, she's right. There's people that doesn't go.
I'm like, wow. And that's the beauty, like, about just surrounding yourself with, you know, amazing people, man. And, you know, you just learn off each other. Whether it's one hobby to another, You know, like I went to that mini zoo or that super zoo in Vegas, and I'll tell you right now, there's a lot of people that I learned business from that weren't even selling reptiles or live animals. I was just listening and very observant to how people were doing business, their approaches, their game plans, how they broke things down, how they, you know, put their plan together about how they were going to approach it. Just listening to everybody and all their little details. I'm like, man, it really expanded my mind to where it's like, man, you can really learn a lot from different industries or different trades, even if it ain't reptiles. And you can take some of that knowledge and bring it in, you know, like, you know, I'm always trying to better myself. I'm always trying to, you know, make sure, like, try to have better approaches with things, try to have better responses with things, trying to better myself as a person daily. And, you know, listening to those things kind of helped me because I'm like, oh, well, I was struggling there, and that's why. Maybe that was a good approach he took. Maybe I should do something very similar next time, right? Like, it just gives me that poof, like, you know, like, hey, I didn't think about that before. Like, and some of those guys were really intelligent. I was just like, damn, I felt like I was in school just listening to these guys. I'm like, I went to a business school for a week. It was insane.
He went to a furry convention. Ha! That got awkward.
It was pretty furry.
Pats.
Especially his back is pretty furry.
No costume needed.
Funny.
He saved on the rental.
Don't start. We're being nice right now. Don't start.
Damn it, Randy. All right. Well, aside from hosting a furry convention, where do you see yourself? What's the 5-year plan, dude? What's the 5-year plan?
For what? A furry convention?
No, that's already happening. We've already got that in the books. I'll be your promoter. You know, I can do some good shit. I know some people. I'll get you a lot of people through the door. You could, you know, I got you. And then we're just gonna use the furry convention as a jumping off, like a launch pad. But beyond that, what do you see yourself doing in 5 years?
Oh man, I can't. I'm just one of those guys. I'm gonna just be like, hey, we just got to play by ear. Let's see how it unfolds.
You sound like Dredd. That's Dredd.
I just one of those guys. I just jump with it, bro. Let's go. Let's go with the flow.
Right. It's go big or go home. You're either going to sink or swim, and you're going to figure it out on your way down, and then you're going to correct and revamp and rock and roll going forward. I'm with you. That's how I've always lived my life. Go big or go home. It ain't helped me all the time, but sometimes it has. So.
Yeah.
Thanks, Crystal, for all the love and coming and hanging out. Crystal's one of our good supporters. He's always coming around. What's up, Skylar?
Y'all should come
guys,
out
thanks
and
for all the
see
support, follows, likes, shares, everything y'all have done. Erica's been over there just promoting the channel, the show. I mean,
Y'all should see my brother in Christmas. He brings out his Grinch outfit and everything for y'all. So y'all should see him on Christmas on live.
I got a request.
Snakes and everything.
I want Poppin' Lockin' in a Grinch costume. Is that too much to ask?
Well, we'll schedule that. We'll schedule that.
You heard it here first.
We'll have to plan some kind of Christmas show. So,
we can do that. We can do that. We can get something going for sure.
Constrictly.
That's awesome.
You were asking me a bunch of questions the other night about the GTP that I cannot answer, but because he's came from Pat, and Pat had him for a long time and made him the awesome, amazing animal that he is, he might be able to answer those questions.
What were the questions?
So Pat knows about green trees. Let's hear something about green trees.
A little bit. I know a little bit. I know the sarong. I had a sarong. She bought it, so.
Yeah, that's Constrictly was asking me the locale, and I was like, I had no idea. I just saw pretty snake that I've wanted since I was a child. Let me have it.
Right? That's the right idea, Holly.
And people would tell me like, hey, these things are docile from babies, which I got to deal with one last week, a baby, and I held that thing 5 times and it never once tried to bite me. I was like, man, these things are really docile from babies. But that's what makes they are a little bit more expensive. Like sarongs, you're gonna pay double the price for compared to the other. I don't remember what the other locality was.
Yeah, well, Beox are the cheapest, but they're also one of the most potent. Is if you're getting into designers, Beox are one of them for their size and their coloration that you use in the recipe of making designers, especially if you're going calicos or multicolor. But yeah, Sarong, and Manakwari and Aru are some of the most blues, have some of the higher whites on their dorsum, and they do have some of the more blunt, rounded heads, a little bit different to their tail, and definitely some of the sweeter dispositions, much more mellow. You're definitely right about that.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, that's the thing. That's what I feel like you're buying with those. You're buying their temperament. You know what I mean? Compared to what the other ones are more, like you said, colored mutation, and so it's like one or the other. You're buying one for its temperament, or you're buying one because it looks good, and you just gotta take bites whenever you deal with that shit. So.
Yep. Or you buy it for its bloodlines. So you can,
too,
that's a big thing.
Yeah.
I got lucky and got the best of both worlds thanks to Pat, because he's an absolute puppy dog. We got him out tonight. My husband held him for the first time. Even my daughter, who was begging, she's like, "Mom, please let me hold him." I'm like, "No, you're too young," because she's 8. But she assisted us in holding him, and he's you respect the animal and read his body language, and he's just an awesome addition to our family. So we're so happy that he and Pat both came into our lives.
That's awesome. That is so cool. You guys, we're within striking distance of breaking last week's likes. We ain't that far from 73.
I put 60. We're hitting 70. Typo, 70. We're hitting 70.
73 last week was the high water mark.
70,000. There we go. Look at that beautiful boa. Oh, let's chill. Dude, that thing is just gorgeous. I'm telling you.
I can't believe its belly is not white. Like, that blows me away.
Yeah, no, solid black.
That blows me away.
I love it.
She's gorgeous, man. I produced her too. She was my trophy snake.
Oh yeah. That's just one of them snakes that you'll just have just forever.
Yeah, you just that's why I got my yin and yang. I got my solid black boa, and I got my solid white boa. So
right,
I got my yin and yang, man. I'm cool with that.
No doubt, dude. No doubt.
How old is that one now?
She's almost 4. She's actually.
I'm gonna guess 3. Okay.
Yeah, she's about 3 years and 8 months. So by the time I'm ready to breed her, she'll be going November, December. By then, she'll hit about 4 months. But her body structure is there. Her weight is good. Yeah. So I'm 100% comfortable breeding her. She filled out really well. Sometimes they don't fill out that well at 3.5 years old. But she filled out really well. So she's definitely got the body mass and structure that she needs to be able to hold the babies and to be able to go through the pregnancy. So yeah. But she's my pride and joy.
That's rad.
Yeah,
So
no doubt.
you got 2 litters this year you're planning, or 3?
I got 13 females I plan on pairing in boas this year, bro. 13. I got 13 females that I'm breeding, including this one.
Okay, so how many males do you run per female? You just running 1 male per 1 female?
I typically run 1 male to 1 female, but I got some big males right now, and I got big females. So I got about 3 to 4 females that are about 7 foot or roughly that size, and then I got 2 males that are about 5.5 feet. Those are bigger than I'd like them to be, but they're gonna go to my biggest female, so I'm perfectly okay with them.
Oh yeah.
I do plan to run one of those males to 2 females, and then one of the males to 1 female. So I'm hoping to get 3 litters between the 2 males, and then all my other pairings are gonna be 1 to 1.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So are you thinking about a website? Do you have the skills of the people, the photography? Do you have access to that? Like, because that's you said 13 females. Let's just say 12 goal, and 10. That's potentially, let's just call it 240 little ones. Yeah. A, you better have a whole lot of little feeders and a lot of baby racks, and B, you got to have an outlet. So I mean, I secured my .com name. I haven't done nothing with it yet, but I went around and claimed everything that I could that was strictly business because it didn't exist. So I was like, oh,
Right.
gold mine. So I got that email, everything. I got the .com. I got all of it I could. YouTube, everything. So it's consistent, and my name is consistent everywhere. And I knew because what I wanted to do, and I knew branding, and that was important. Not that I've pushed the envelope in every one of those arenas yet, but I got it. And it's like $15 a year for me to have that strictlybusiness.com. Now I'm going to do something with it and clearly put a lot more into it. But do you have a domain that you're going to work? Do you own one already? Or because you can photograph the parents, the not for sale, you could really showcase your animals. And that's why I asked about photography. You could show the pairings, and then when people have that available now button, on their webpage, and people can kind of see what the parents are, read the genes, and then get excited about it. Oh, well, when this drops, then these are the parents, these are the genes I want. You got, 40 babies, but you've already got 15 buyers lined up before they hit the ground. That's good. I mean, is there any plans as far as your outlet goes?
So my wife is going to school for that right now. She should have her associate's degree by December of this year. She's actually going to learn how to build websites. She built me a website. So we're actually going to plug that in this year. We're going to get it up and running. But she built a website, and she's like, I would charge somebody I didn't realize that websites were that much, but she's like, yeah, it would cost like $2 to $3 grand depending on the website to build a website. I'm like, what the hell?
To pay somebody?
Yeah, to pay somebody to build your website.
I built one before, and it wasn't. I'm on GoDaddy now, and it was a competitor, and I forget their name. Does anybody know what's the other big competitor to them? Someone should know.
I forget. Anyway,
I did it before when I was breeding and shipping isopods and bioactive enclosures for them. I did like the fancier roly-polies, basically, but ornamental ones from all different types. I had about 15 or 20 species I was breeding and shipping. So I was Iso Viva in the past. Isopod, Viva Life, and I thought it was really cool, and I made the logo and everything in-house, and it just took time. It just took time. I did it for free. I just had and their website was really user-friendly and intuitive, and so it worked, and it's not like we're doing, you or I, even with that many snakes, it's not like we're managing pallets and pallets of widgets that we have to, run a UPC code on and all that crap. 200 snakes is not like 20,000 on a truckload. So it's very manageable inventory, even at your level. So I think you could, honestly, dude, I think you could do it yourself in-house for pennies. I mean, it was just...
Well, my wife built it for free, but she was telling me that if she was to build a website for somebody, that's what she would charge them. Because that's what it costs to build websites. She was like, but I got mine done for free because that's what she's going to school for. So I was blessed by that aspect. And I think we do. I can't remember. I think my friend T-Was, he's got some stuff going on with the website. He put one of those, I forgot what it's called. The little thing you put with your camera.
UPC? Or the QR code.
QR code, there you go. So he actually added a QR code to it, and all kinds of stuff. So between him and my wife, that website's actually going to be really, really cool, I think. So they're really working together on building that thing up pretty good, man.
I'm getting a lot of feedback of bigger players in the industry telling me that a lot of people seem to be kind of going back 15 years ago to doing their own websites because Morph Market... people have opinions, and it's this and that. It's tire kickers. It's a lot of back and forth, broken promises, people ghosting you, and that the website's a little bit more cut and dry, and you can control it more. So I think a lot of people are starting to have some. It's not a renaissance; it's a revisiting. It's going back to the website concept and keeping their own animals and content in house. And I think you can kind of brand your image and stuff a lot better that way too, because the whole background and the photography. I mean, on any website you sell on, you're stuck within a little thumbnail. You're stuck within a box to show a picture. So I think doing good for
that's actually really cool.
Yeah.
QR code on a shirt.
Yeah, QR code.
That's actually impressive.
And that QR code could link to a Linktree website, Morph Market, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. that QR code can go to a landing site, and then they can pick a drop down or a multi-radio button on a screen, and it could jump them to any one of those, whether they want to follow you socially, personally, or buy from you. So those are powerful.
Yes, sir. Yes, they are. Yeah, that's my weakness. So like, everybody has a stronghold and everybody has a weakness. My weakness is technology, computer, like all that stuff. But that's my wife's weak spot or power spot, right? Like where I'm weak, she's strong, and where I'm strong, she's strong in some areas, but not in others. You know what I mean? So that's why we're like, she's definitely my better half. Like she helps me where I'm strong, where I'm weak, she's strong, and where she's weak, I'm strong. And it's like, together, it's like
peanut butter jelly, baby. Peanut butter jelly.
Peanut butter and jelly.
70,000 likes. We just hit the 70K, Pat. How's that make you feel, bro?
Man, good people, man. I appreciate everybody here, all the support, all the love, all the taps. I appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, dude, you definitely hold a loyal following. I've always seen that on yours. Yeah. I know, like you and like Basement Pythons and people that are very experienced breeders that have a lot of things available, that you guys have really large viewership. But then, how many of them are buyers? Like I see a lot of questions from people that are new to it, and so. Right. There's a give and a take as you don't ever want to stop someone from asking questions and growing. But at the same time, it's like, how do you balance that, attracting buyers, growing your own personal social media presence, and then, not wearing yourself out, with too much of the, hey, is that a snake? Is it poisonous? I mean, how many times, I'm saying, like that as an example, how do you balance those two things?
So for me, it's like, I like to sit on my TikTok sometimes, and I'll just sit there sometimes, like sometimes I'll be like, hey guys, tonight we're just going to sit here and hang out, and we'll play music and we'll talk. I'll answer questions if anybody has questions. And then there's nights where I get on here and I'm like, hey guys, I just got some new animals in, or this is what I got, that's looking for, a new home or a forever home. And then I do like in between trying to show those animals where I don't answer. This is where I love my mods, like my sister Erica, Holly, and all them. They'll get in the boxes and they'll actually help me read the comments that I don't miss. So we try to make sure nobody gets missed. Like, like here earlier, somebody was like, hey, why is this, and it's not that things are being ignored. Sometimes comments are going too fast. Sometimes things are moving too fast. And that's where they step in and help me, read between the lines of what I don't see. So, but we always try to make sure that no matter what I'm doing, that if somebody's got a question, that we try to give them the best educational answer possible. So that's our end game, is just making sure that, one, you're getting the answer, and two, that if you do get the answer, it's to the best knowledge that we know, and it's the correct knowledge. I will tell somebody I don't know something before I give them a false answer. I think we should all do that. Instead of thinking
that's exactly. We don't know. We'll try to help you find the answer. So
absolutely.
That's the best way to be.
How long you been on TikTok?
A year now. I've been on here a year now.
Damn. Okay. I started mine in late May. So when did you hit 10K?
I just hit 10K. I want to say like a month and a half ago. Just recently.
Oh wow. Okay. Ed K's SZ, thanks for rolling through, Nate. We appreciate you, buddy. Thanks for the love. He's doing his own thing.
Thanks, Nate. Good night, brother.
That's pretty cool. I know.
That's not terribly long. Okay.
So I was like, cool. It's the only boa in this building that shares the same birthday as me. So I'm like, cool. At least I got a boa in here that has my birthday. So it's pretty cool. It's nice to have a snake.
I got a snake up in the rack that one of my followers, it was his wife's birthday that they're going to get.
Nice.
Oh, nice. That's
there you
awesome.
go, Nate.
So that's pretty cool.
Over.
Yeah, Nate's been knocking it out of the park over there. He's been doing good. You guys, again, help support everybody in this hobby, right? Let's help every one of us get up to 10,000 and, keep this going. And let's have fun with it. Just show the love and support that we have for each other. And, all the new things that are coming. and all the new education that we're going to be able to share on this show, and the new guests we're going to have.
Kyle Hoffman next week.
Kyle Hoffman next week. Kyle's been through a couple times with me. It's fun. It's exciting to listen to Kyle.
He's got that big old rat room, huh? He's got that big old rat room and that big old facility.
Got a big rat room.
Oh, I know. He's got a sweet facility. His rotor room is the best I've seen. I mean, that stuff is like tapped into the hard copper lines
he's up there close to Royal Constrictor, to Garrett DeMeyer. I mean, they've been buddies forever. And
his rat room's top notch for sure.
Yeah,
he's definitely got a really high end rat room for sure. You can tell he's been doing it for a while. That ain't a rat room that happens overnight. That takes years to build a rat room like that.
Dude, we broke the record, Pat. 74.5K. We broke the record tonight.
Let's go, y'all.
We broke the record. That's what's up. So good. I'm glad to hear about your and Nate's growth then. So if I'm at like late May, late June, late July, late August. So if I'm almost 4K in 3 months, I guess I'm on track then. That's good.
Yeah, you're doing pretty
yeah,
good.
you're doing a little better than I am, but yeah, either way, I don't get out there and hustle enough. I have a hard time. Social media is hard for me. It is. It's a challenge, but I'm out here doing it. I'm not giving up. So, right.
It can be a challenge. It's a challenge. There's people here on TikTok that say I'm only where I'm at because of certain people, which is true to a point, right? Sometimes it's not what you know, it's who you know, which is a fact in life, right? But what people don't know is how hard I've worked to get where I'm at, right? Like I don't boast, I don't brag. A lot of things I've done behind the scenes that nobody even know. All the blood, sweat, and tears I put into this. Like literally to build this business. So was I blessed with some people just God sent people. God was just constantly sending the right people into my life to constantly help me grow. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with saying, hey, sometimes in life I need help. And if somebody's willing to give you a helping hand, that's when I noticed the growth in my life the most. When I started swallowing my pride and started saying, okay, I could use help right here. That's when I started growing. Because so many times I would slap people's hands down. I don't need help. I got this. But I didn't have it. And I don't have it. But then I started taking help and I'm like, it's okay to take help, bro, because that's what's going to help me grow. That's what's going to help you prosper is taking help, saying, hey, here's my hand, help me up.
Well, Pat, also, dude, also don't be too humble about yourself and like your own shine, because you're only going to get that kind of help offered to you if you are a pleasant person to be around. And like we talked about earlier, the golden rule and, birds of a feather flock together and all them things. Like there's some truth to that. And the doors wouldn't, birds of a feather, you got a chicken on your head. So you wouldn't open those doors. People wouldn't offer you opportunities if they thought you were a shithead. They wouldn't they wouldn't want to hang around you. Those opportunities occur. You get back from the universe what you put into it. And there's a lot of motivations and different reasons for people doing that. But I think when you're genuine, people can smell it. They can smell it off. They can tell. And those things don't just come your way free. You have to work for them. But sometimes part of working for them is just by, like you said, accepting help from the right people, being in the right place at the right time. And it's easy. Like I grew up poor too, mostly a single mom for the most part. My stepdad was a negative number. I was better with my mom only, and it was tough growing up. But you learn from that. You learn how to be resourceful, how to fix your own car, how to cook your own meal, how to clean the toilet.
Look, 80,000. We just probably set a TikTok record, y'all.
Dude, every week, Pat, we always have 100% more gifting than the number one person in our category. Every week.
Man.
Y'all remember the Goonies, the Truffle Shuffle? Do it, chump.
Rocky Road.
Do it, chump. Don't do it, chump. I'm clipping your ass.
There you go, dude. You guys are awesome. Thank you for the likes. I didn't think that was gonna happen for real.
80,000 likes and still going.
I didn't think that was gonna happen. I quit looking. You guys are fucking rad. That's awesome.
Dude, Pat, you brought in the heavy hitters tonight, boy. You brought in the crew. Y'all, hey, again, all the support from our followers, Pat's followers, all of y'all, period. This has just been an awesome show. Thank you.
Yeah, man. I really enjoyed getting to know you tonight more, and I hope you don't have to say it just for my benefit, but I hope this was like one of your more favorite, more fun. If you've done interviews before, I know you said you have, but I hope this was like, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but you just seem like you were more yourself. You were really comfortable. You were a little bit different than you are on your lives. I think on your lives you're wearing a different suit, and I felt like tonight you were really just yourself. And I mean, I like you even more than what I did going into it. I already knew I did, and I already knew I liked what you were about, what you were working on. But I mean, I just feel like tonight was really chill. Really good getting to know you better, and other people getting to know you, and I hope you got some followers as well, from our crew and vice versa. So I mean, it's all love, and that's and I hope you were comfortable. Whoa! Look at that.
All you gotta do is give me to talk about boas, and that'll bring me out of my comfort, dude. Like, I'm a nerd, like that's all it takes. I can sit here and talk boas all night, man. Like, I love them. But I'm hoping that one day I can sit here and talk about all species like this, like just, and that's my game, is just to keep educating myself and just to keep pushing to learn more and be a better keeper, be a better breeder, just try to be a solution and not a problem. That's the end game for me and then have standards when you do things. Like if you're gonna breed, and if you are gonna keep, and if you are gonna, whatever you do, just do it to the best of your ability, integrity, man. You know what I mean? I got a great example in my life right now. The guy that I'm learning from, like this guy's, like his standards are high, dude. Like the care of his animals, the condition of his animals, his standards are high, and it make me push my standards even higher, because I'm like, man, because I have an example now. Somebody's like come into my life that has a higher standard than me, and I'm like, oh, I thought my standards were high at keeping. Time to step it up, and I've taken that next step to care, keeping, breeding, because somebody had came into my life that is caring and keeping on another level than me, and their standards that they hold, I'm like, I want to sit on those standards, because those are the standards that are gonna give you your name and your reputation, because you do care about what's coming in and out. You do care about the health of the animals. You do care about the quality of the animals. You do care about where that animal is going for the most part, right? So we just try our best, but it's just one of those things where I've been truly blessed, and I've been blessed with a friend to not even just show me, how to take my business to the next step, but he's just been a really good friend, and has just took me under his wing and has just showed me so much. And that is key too. If you guys don't have those friends, find somebody that's very knowledgeable and that you can just learn off of. Yeah, I tell people all the time, like, my knowledge is free. I just want friendships, man. Like, I don't I don't want people's money or nothing for my knowledge. I just want your friendship, bro. It's a simple trade. I give you knowledge, just be my friend, man. Like, if that's what you want to be. And if you don't want to be my friend, cool, I'll still give you knowledge, man. And then just go about your day, So
right.
I just see things in a different perspective. That's all. Like I said, I want to be a solution, not a problem.
Hell yeah, dude.
You bet.
Say what's up to my friend Carly down there. She's straight already in bed, but Carly's a buddy of mine. Coastal Marylia.
Well spoken, Pat. Well spoken.
Yeah, you got it, man. You got your head on right, dude. You got the right mentality.
Dude, you're so much inspiration for us right now, and I know everybody in the comments that follows. Dude, this is what we needed to hear today.
And you surround yourself with people, like, when you want to grow, that are doing more than you, which is kind of what I am aiming for these days, is to get myself into position to be around people that are, because I mean, if I just hang around the same things that I'm doing, hey buddy, you're doing it, oh hey buddy, well then are we growing? And at the same time, it's my responsibility, if people are going to be cool enough with me to share education and help me learn or introduce me to people or events or situations that improve my position, my goals, then I should pay it forward and do the same to people that come to me or Dread or Anthem for answers because they do. And it's flattering. I'm always like, what? Really? You think? Oh man, really? You want to know my opinion on that? So that's always flattering to me. I think Dread handles it a little better than I do because people come to him for knowledge all the time. And
I still don't know why. I don't know anything. I feed you right. You got to wear hip waders when you talk to me. So get out the flat bottom boat because it's gonna get deep.
Yeah,
I do my best. I'm like you. I try to tell them what I know to the best of my knowledge. And if I don't, I'm not. And if I don't know it, I get these guys or you or whoever. You're right. It's being straightforward and being with the right people and the good people. And dude, this was a good message.
Yeah, and this is a true story. These are true facts. I even asked my friend, and here's why. Because in my life, most people that ever wanted to be my friend or wanted to do business with me, they wanted something from me, right? Not a lot of people have legit been genuine friends to me. And the more I started talking to my friend and the more we started becoming friends, God's honest truth, he's in this live right now. I asked him one day on the phone, hey, why you my friend? This guy is on another level in life, like on a level to where like his friends and the friends that I call friends are like different lifestyles, different levels in life, right? I asked him, why are you my friend, bro? And he goes, because you're a legit, genuine dude, bro. You have a good heart. You're a good guy. You care. You do the right things. And he goes, that's why I'm your friend. And that's why I want to help you. And there couldn't have been no realer answer. And that conversation and that night, I knew right there, damn, for once in my life, somebody actually wants to be my friend and wants to help me and not just gain something from me. And that, and our friendship has actually, my friendship for him has actually grown a lot since then because he has truly just over and over again has shown his friendship. Friends just don't talk about it, they will show it. He's known my situation. He's helped me in times that nobody else has. And like, he's just constantly showing his friendship. Like I know we're friends. I don't have to question our friendship at all. And not only are we just our friendship is growing, but he's mentoring me. I'm not just growing as a friendship with him, but I'm growing as a businessman, as a young, adult man. I'm growing with knowledge, so it's just one of those things. Like I couldn't ask for a better relationship. Like not only are we good friends, really good friends, but this man has really took me under his wing and he knows business because he's on another level. I'm like, whoa, bro. I call him and talk to him about my problems and he tells me his problems. I'm like, hey, bro, I'm good. I don't even want to tell you my problems no more because they're like flies on a wall, bro. You know what I mean? When you start getting up there, your problems are a lot different. And I'm like, okay. But he helps me see that like, hey, bro, you're still growing and you're still learning. But as you grow, this is, and I'm just trying to get you ready for that. So, and he has. He's been an amazing friend. And I think those kind of people are keys to wanting to grow in a situation. Find good friends that are truly going to have your best interest, and then find mentors. Those are going to be your biggest keys to succeeding, to growing, and don't be scared to take help if you need it. Don't be scared. I've learned that a lot this year. So,
man, I'm waiting to hear the keyboards playing. Brother Pat, preach it, Brother Pat. This is Reptile Church, y'all. This is awesome. This is what we're talking about, I love it. I love it, man.
Well, you're so lucky, dude. That's awesome.
I'm blessed. I can say that.
You're very blessed, and we can sit and so thankful for that.
Yes, I want to send a shout out to Sean 1776. He got us to this live goal. I have no idea. I just said stuff. Sean, you've been awesome tonight. Thank you so much for your enthusiasm.
Give some shout outs.
Awesome.
Randy. Damn it, Randy. That's my friend.
Rough.
Yeah, I gave Randy.
What's up, Scruff?
You guys give Damn it, Randy a follow.
That's like my brother from another mother, man. That's my boy right there. So
right on. Yeah, the show gave him a follow. Everybody gave him a follow. Super cool.
That is cool, man. And then people are saying how they got their snakes from you and how they got their whole family in the snakes. That's so cool. You're just growing the hobby and enthusiasm. But you're also, what's up, bro? Scruffosaurus is my real life brother. Down there in the comments, give Scruff a what's up. That's my brother. He's up in the STL. I'm glad to see him down there.
There we go. We gave Scruff a follow on the guest account. Let me give him a follow here.
Give him a follow too.
I think we got a shot at 100K, man. It might be doable tonight. We're still holding 30. We've been holding 30 since we're like, okay, that's a wrap. We've been holding 30 this whole time since we've wrapped up, but it ain't wrapped. We're still going at it. I think we got 100K in our sights, which I have never seen. I've never seen a live with 100K, dude. Never.
Let's show them how Graceful does it, y'all. Let's show them.
Let's keep it going. What do we write? We got to keep the topics coming in. Anybody wanting to get in the box and share something to keep the show going? This is good. There's some good stuff coming out right now.
I'm glad you got a genuine friend that can help you with that business aspect and grow. Now I'm not anywhere remotely as close, but I do have kind of someone that helps me out that I can bounce stuff off of. Is Emilio from Trap Talk, and he is like the coach in the group, and I can call him on the phone and he critiques stuff. He's like, even in the group, like, oh man, you gotta photograph your snake like this. You need to do that. Oh hey, that shirt, you're putting that shirt out before you print it, man. I think this is a little too dark. You should do that. He doesn't do it a lot, but when you throw something out there for critique, or you throw a snake that you just hatched, he's gonna go, what was the pairing? You can't show other people's stuff in the group, and you can't unless you like say, "Oh, look what this guy did. This thing is like, worthy of us." Just like drooling over, but you can't perpetrate that something that's not yours, I guess. And he always wants to know what's the pairing. Well, what do you see? What do you think's in there? So, from a business standpoint, you're lucky to have someone to teach you the nuts and bolts because you can't come across that every day. Hobby-wise, I mean, I got some people I can bounce off of, but you're definitely blessed, man.
And that's my weakness, right? So when I became business partners with my brother-in-law, he has a master in business. So I was like, cool, here's my opportunity to go into business with somebody. But one thing I learned really fast is just because somebody's got a master's in something doesn't mean they know how to use it like to the best ability, right? And I've learned this, like the best business partner I've had so far really is my wife because she's done everything I've needed her to do. But meeting my friend Randy, I'm like, man, now I got that knowledge because the business that I'm in, he's in, but on another level. So now I can pick his brain, and he does. Like any question I ask, he'll give me the best answer to his knowledge, and like he's very, very intelligent when it comes to how he does things, and like I just love listening to him. I tell him, dude, I can talk to you for hours and just get off the phone and my brain freaking hurts because I just sucked in so much information off one phone call, dude. Like it's a headache sometimes, literally, because your brain is just like.
Dude, that happened the first time we hung out on a live with Kyle Hoffman, dude. I swear to God, we ended that after 4 hours. 4 hours. And I called Dredd right away, and I was like, what just happened? I go, these are things I had no idea of. And this is going on? This is how you succeed? Yeah.
I don't think either of us slept the whole night just thinking about this stuff.
It's amazing, but that's the beautiful part about surrounding yourself with those people that you've always got that to learn from, man. Like the sky's the limit with knowledge, you know what I mean? Like it's awesome, and it's definitely helped me out a lot, and that's what makes it so, like, he even tells me, he's like, man, you're really good with your boas, you know what I mean? Like, we're even doing breeding projects together, and we're working on some stuff together. We got some MOA projects that I'm really excited to work with him on. It's really fun, like when you can get to that point where people where you're like, hey, let's work out some projects and let's work together, and like, hey, let's do this and just we both get something out of it. I tell him all the time, like, hey, my number one is holdbacks. Like, I just want to keep a couple animals from it, and then whatever else we can just sell it and beyond. But I always breed for myself. That's the number one thing I breed for. I breed for myself, and then whatever I don't keep is what I offer to the public. But number one breeding purpose is for myself.
That's what I understand is how you got to work. Be your own best customer.
Yes, you got to breed and hold back. And it hurts sometimes because you're like, oh, I really need it, but I really need to build. I need this for building blocks for my future. So sometimes you have to think what's more important, the fast money now or 3 years for like many a times I'm like, man, I can sell this animal for $3,000 right now, or I can save it or raise it and make a $30,000 litter with it, right? Sometimes you gotta sometimes now's good, but sometimes long term's good. So I'm always trying to put myself in the best situation when it comes to long term and short term, because you're always going to come across both of those where you're like, I can sell this short term now, but is it going to be more beneficial to sell it now or to breed it in the future? That's where my mindset goes every time I breed. And when I look for my holdbacks, that's how I find my holdbacks. Quality, obviously quality, color, pattern, the best of the quality and pattern, color and pattern, but you know, it's based off of, is it going to benefit me more to sell this animal or to keep this animal? That's also how I base my holdbacks.
That is so true. That is what all the big dogs say.
You want to build, you got to think about your future first. That's first. Holdbacks are your future. Without holdbacks, you're not building a future. You're just right now, and you're never going to build a business that way. You have to put back in. You have to keep putting back in, whether that's holdbacks or whether that's selling and putting your money right back into your business.
Yeah, and I think I'm in the phase of selling. I mean, I have some ball python projects that I do want to. I can see holdbacks in my future, but I'm in the process of selling because the stuff I'll be having isn't top notch enough to sweat it too bad. But I know what I need to buy, what I need to get. So I'll simply. You know, I sell a few good ball python litters, then I'm going to go get me that $3,500 green tree python. That's going to take me to the next level.
Yeah.
Now, I get like 5 babies out of that are worth $3,000 a piece. Let's just say 5 conservatively, maybe 10 on a great day. Then, I mean, I'm not making $30,000 ball pythons. Let's not kid anybody. I'll be lucky to make $300 ball pythons. So I'm being very realistic. But if I could take that money, reinvest it, and then get that next level animal, then that's going to open doors. And then those are holdbacks. You got to kind of pick and parlay where you're going to go with that.
That's why they call it the long game and try to think ahead. And it is, right. You're right. It is. How do you, so on that note, how do you think ahead? Like, what do you set down and try to evaluate when you're planning for that? You know,
so every time I do a pairing, I break down the how would I say, the pairing to it, right? I break down everything that goes into it. I guess the logistics of it, like what it costs me to feed it, raise it, the animals, what it's worth. And then I look at that litter and I'm like, okay, so for holdback wise, this is my plan. I always have a plan and a goal every time I pair an animal. I don't just pair them without a plan and a goal. And in my plan, I break down the litter. I'm like, okay, this is my worst case scenario. This is my best case scenario. I'm always going to go for my best case scenarios. Like whatever okay, so this is what, if I hit all genes, this is what I can make. But if I only hit 3 genes, this is what I can make. So if I don't hit the 5 gene, but I make the 4 gene and the 3 gene, those are the 2 I'm going to go after, because those were my building blocks that I was actually trying to go after. So I always have, like, in my head, I'm like, okay, I'm going to pair this, and this is what I'm going to hope to make. But you don't always get what you're hoping to produce. So I go for what's next best in line. So, and that's how I build my building blocks. Like that IMG Motley double head sharp anery that I held, that jet black, I sold her brother for $2,600 3 years ago. Like, they were really expensive, but I had to make a choice. Do I keep 6 IMGs from this litter, or do I keep 3 of the best? And what I did is I kept 3 of the best, and I sold off the rest to help build into the business.
That's so smart. That's what you got to do, man. You got to. So you got to.
Well put, man. Well put. Very explained very well. Yeah.
So give me an example, your business buddy, and I'm not asking you to like spill financial secrets or anything, but give me an example of when he shares knowledge with you that you're like, oh my God, this is what I needed to hear. Here's what I'm going to use to get to the next level. Yeah. Not necessarily snake related, but what is that advice? What's something he shared?
When he started speaking variety to me, man, variety was huge for me, because even the last couple of years, I started expanding little by little, right? but I went from boas to little black ball pythons. You know, in the last 6 years or the last 5 years, I was barely to the point where I was breeding 9 different species. Now I'm to the point where I don't just breed, but I keep almost multiple different species. And there's times I got to even ask him like, hey, I've never held this species before. Like, how do you care for it? And he'll tell me, and I got it right away. Like, that's the good part, is that like all he has to do is explain it to me. And because I've dealt with animals, I can just get an idea and be like, okay, cool. I know what I need to do. But there's times I even have to ask him, because I'm like, I never owned one of these before. I've never had one of these in my possession, because for the longest time, I just owned boas or ball pythons or, you know, colubrids, all the stuff that I'm familiar with. The iguanas were new to me. Getting a blood python was new to me. Getting a Cuban false chameleon was new to me. So I got all these different species that I never even worked with before. And now that once I get them in, I just learn them. Like, I barely got my first mata turtle 5 days ago, and I've researched this thing. We've set up its cage like the Amazon River. We're going to put leaf litter in there. We're going to give it all this. But man, like, I've learned so much about this turtle in such a short time. I'm just like, and I'm pumped about it, because I'm like, cool, I never even knew half this stuff, but it gets me excited, and I'm like, man, I just want to keep learning. I just want to keep learning, you know? But I got to find somebody that knows all those, that have all those answers for me, which for the most part, he has a lot of, he does birds and guinea pigs and chinchillas and small mammals and reptiles, and he deals with all these different animals, and I'm like, that's key right there, is having variety, not just reptiles, but he does birds and small mammals. And I'm like, it starts getting your brain to be like, oh, okay, I see what it's taking to get there and to make it, you know what I mean? So,
dude, that's rad. That is such a great asset to have in your corner, dude. That is.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. I wish I had somebody next door to me like that. That dude.
Is he geographically close?
He's about 6 hours from me, so we're in 2 different states, but we're right next to it, so.
Yeah. Man, that is crazy awesome.
He's just a phone call away, though. We spent hours. There's times I'll call him and we'll spend 2 hours on the phone just talking genetics or animals or care, or, you know, very knowledgeable and very like open to give me time to learn what I need to. Guys, we're almost there.
Dude, 100K. We're going to hit 100,000.
100K.
No way.
Let's go, team. You guys freaking rock.
What?
Let's go.
We just hit 100K. No one's done that on TikTok.
If they're not noticing us yet, they will now.
Yeah, we're not noticed yet.
Let's go, team. You guys are
awesome. Hey, everybody better soak their fingers and get some rest, get some massage, and
dude, that's crazy.
Getting solder and loosen, y'all know the dreadnought spill.
That's I did not expect that.
Super cool.
Wow, thank you, everybody. You guys
never
are
have
awesome
I ever
tonight.
seen that on anyone ever.
I have not either.
Great job, everyone. Okay, so it's going to be hard going forward, man, to compete with this.
Yeah. That is wild. I don't know.
A group of people, for sure.
Oh, hey, hold on. I just got news. Oh.
What do we got?
What happened?
He got too excited. He passed out.
Oh, shit.
Bob Boo said, hey.
Oh, shit. Who's left? Are you guys ready to hear about next week? I already told you about Kyle Hoffman.
Voo's coming?
We're going to have Bob Vu of Bob's Balls next Thursday. Double show for the buying season. It's going to be Ball Python Extravaganza. Oh!
That's a big
We just got Bob Vu for Thursday next week. Oh.
We're going to need everybody to step up their game and help us support this and promote this. Everybody, everywhere, all y'all, right? We got to get this one. Even for Kyle, y'all keep helping us support the show. For sure. You're definitely coming back, I hope. You're definitely coming back.
Oh, yeah. Just let me know when you're ready. I'll come back anytime.
We want you again.
We want,
dude. Come back for sure. Any of our guests.
Oh, I'll be back anytime. You let me
Dude.
know. I'll blast.
This is awesome way to go into next
Never
week.
would
Kicking
I
off
ever
that we got
thought
100K with Graceful Serpents, and we are coast to coast. Bob's in Atlanta, freaking Kyle's in Wisconsin, you're in Arizona. We got Dredd in Cali. We got Anthem in Indy. I'm in Little Arkansas. I mean, we are fucking. We got Emilio in Miami. I mean, we got
coast,
people
man.
all
We're coast
over.
to coast. Naughty business is coast to coast.
I got several people in
Worldwide,
KC.
y'all. Worldwide.
Dude, next week is going to be. I just can't believe it. This is incredible.
That.
That's awesome, man.
Wow.
And,
I just had to check my
Tom,
Instagram messages.
I ain't gonna sleep tonight. I'm not gonna sleep.
Can we do
I don't
this,
sleep
Pat?
anyway. I'm really not gonna sleep tonight.
Pat,
So-
is this something? Can I pull this off, dude? Oh my God.
Well, what off? You got this. You
We got
this.
it, dude. We got it. We
Yeah,
got
there's
this.
no
We got the
things already,
support.
bro.
We got the support, man. We got the support. We got it. We got this.
I was always told, don't write a check your alligator mouth for your Tweety bird ass that can't catch it, you know?
Well, and
I
you're right. You
don't
did
know
it, and I
too,
backed
bro,
it.
so-
Said okay.
Tweet,
So
tweet, 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 tweet.
you know, right? What does Dredd say? Go big or go home.
It is, man.
Either get on the barbecue pit or just stay in the damn kitchen, right?
Ooh.
That's how it is.
We're grilling
One thing I
steaks
learned-
up here, boys. T-bone.
Sometimes you just gotta
We
run
got
your-
brisket on the smoker. Woo, dog, you
Biscuit
come
for the
on.
biscuit. Yep.
Get the P-Rose in the water and head this direction.
Yep. It's man, that's awesome. You guys hit your first 100,000, man.
Yeah. I have never done that before. I didn't think that was gonna happen. I always go into every week saying I want to up viewership. I don't really necessarily like care. You see, I'm not pimping. Hey, follow me, follow me. No, I want the guest account. I want the 500, and then I don't give a crap. I'm not like trying to like, oh, follow me. Everything that happens good is by default. You know what I'm
Dude,
saying?
it's like we just won the war, ain't it?
Team Graceful came in, showed up tonight.
You're dang
Love you
right.
guys,
Graceful
man.
come in with the big guns. I mean, Graceful brought the heat, dude. You brought the heat tonight, right? Hey,
He's awesome, man.
you brought the big man is what it is. He brought what we needed tonight,
Wow. Wow.
right?
I think you're right, man. You're blessed, brother. You're right. I think
This is what we needed tonight right here to help. This is us. This is it. This is it. Let's take this
JTK
win.
Reptiles, what's up, bro?
Let's
I was on
take this
this live
win
the other
and roll
night.
with it, dude. And roll with it. Thank you, Graceful. Thank you, Pat. Thank you, guys.
Hey, thank you guys.
Thank you,
Thank
big
you.
man upstairs. Right?
You guys are freaking awesome. I appreciate you, man.
Dude, I can't wait to meet you in person one day. I'm gonna give you the biggest freaking hug you've ever had.
That's awesome, man. Do you
I'm
ever
a hugger, so I'll hug. Yeah, dude.
You gotta go to one of these super shows, man.
Dude, every time I try to get to one, somebody's sick or something comes up, and I miss both of them. They're literally like 2 hours from me.
I was
What's
gonna
up,
say, yeah, they're about
JTK?
2
What's
hours,
up,
yeah.
brother?
What's
It's
up,
over the
Inspector?
grapevine. You're
What's
there.
good,
I mean,
brother?
come on. I'm not gonna miss any more. I will see you at a show for
I'm
sure.
looking forward to it, man. I'm looking
Dude.
forward to it.
What-
Yeah, you
Yeah.
guys are close, man. You're lucky. You guys can hook up out there.
JTK, who am I following? Who I ain't following? Who I gotta follow?
Oh, JTK's got like a massive following. Man, this dude has lives all the time in his shop. He's got people.
We just gave JTK a follow. For me, the guest account's gonna give JTK a follow.
Thank you,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah, he's got it going on out there. I mean, I see this guy popping up on YouTube all over. He's at the super shows. I mean, you can't miss him on the West Coast. That's for sure.
There we go. We got a
Oh,
follow.
no,
from
no,
JTK.
that's
Oh
Pat.
yeah, man. I've watched
He's
you.
the only Asian that's 6 foot, bro. He's the
Yeah,
only
yeah.
Asian that's
All right.
6
Well, thanks for coming through, man. Thanks for supporting us.
Hey, hey,
can't
Pat.
miss him.
The rest of the
Every
6
Asian's
foot,
like
it goes
5 foot.
this
This guy's
way,
the
right?
tallest Asian I
The
ever
rest
met.
of the 6 foot is right here, guys.
Oh, Neurofy Exotics, thanks for swinging in. So
Hey.
Neurofy and
What's up,
JTK.
Wayne? How are you, Wayne? What up, Erica?
Dude, I just got word. So next week we're gonna have Kyle Hoffman on Wednesday. We already knew that. I just got word, Bob Vu. We're gonna do a double show. We're gonna have one Thursday night. We're gonna have Bob's
What up,
on
Sean?
Thursday night.
Damn, this is
Yes.
the live. This is
Dude,
live of
right
celebrities.
through a week. Kyle's already been through a couple of times, and we're like, "Hey, you want to come hang out?" He's like, "Dude, just let me know when."
That's right, baby. And we
We're
broke
right.
100K
You're not
tonight.
centered up right. Just let's just roll with it and have fun, dude. He's so cool to hang out with, and Bob's so knowledgeable. I mean, all you guys, this is just awesome. I couldn't ever imagine this happening ever.
I told you, baby. We're gonna sell that sizzle till we got some steaks to make, and that's
You're
what's
damn
happening.
right, dude.
There you go. That's your first steak on the grill right there, man.
So thankful for all y'all.
No,
JTK,
my
thanks for
first
coming
steak
through.
on the
No
grill is
problem,
making
brother.
friends with Dread and Anthem.
Everyone wants some
There
burritos.
you go. There you go.
Holy shit, that's a huge
We
burrito.
about to have to get burritos for all. We hit it big because we're heading that direction. I
That's a
hope.
Chihuahua, bro. They just put a Chihuahua and wrap that shit up and say, "Here's a burrito, bro."
Dude, you
That
gotta
ain't
have
no-
a wagon to haul that thing home.
Yeah, bro. What? That ain't no what?
R.I.P. toilet.
Oh man, there's Chihuahua in there, guys. You know he's Asian. He eats that.
Oh,
Hey,
you know
it's
it's good,
bro.
bro.
He
You
takes
know
all
it's
the stray
good.
cats and dogs by a shot.
Big
Hey,
burritos.
you gotta wash that down with a big triple throw down. Shoot, son. It's on time. He's on time, right? Come on.
Oh, there it is.
Let's see it. Let's see it. Get him in the big screen right
I
quick.
got him.
Excuse me.
Oh, that's a nice
Dude.
burrito.
Yep.
Yeah, it is.
That's her. That's her second burrito.
Awesome.
Man.
I got this one too. It's eating burritos. Oh, Chippin is her burrito.
What are those baby pigs?
Yeah, I'm feeding baby pigs today.
I'm a Mexican
Yeah.
American.
I was feeding yesterday, but I didn't finish it. I got more. This one, like after feeding, it's cleaning. After cleaning, speeding. After feeding, is cleaning.
Aren't you in the city, man? Aren't you in LA or something?
I'm in Long Beach,
Okay.
LA.
So where does one find baby pigs within a reasonable drive from that area? Because I live in Arkansas,
I got
and
my
they're not far.
pigs delivered. What up, damn it, Randy?
Oh, so you have him delivered? Okay.
Kung Pao pig.
Yeah.
It's gotta be damn it, Randy. Yeah, I get delivered.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Kung
almost
Pao pig is
1,000
good.
pounds.
And now, is that like DoorDash or Uber Eats or what?
It's Uber Eats is faster, bro.
Yes.
I
You
love
got
it.
you got your
Just make
supply
it-
chain
just make it
dialed in,
sure.
dude.
Just making sure you're tipping them. If they don't get tipped, then you're not getting your pig.
You got to make sure you tip so you can get your pig.
Yeah, I got
I gotta
Chrono
get some water.
yesterday. We fed him pig yesterday. Let's see how's Chrono doing right now. Chrono, say hi.
Sorry, guys. I had to go to the bathroom. I was drinking some water. I was like, woo.
Yeah, man. My eyeballs are floating, Pat. I feel you, bro.
I was like, dude, if I didn't go pee, bro, I was about to pee myself. I was like, the water.
Say hi, Chrono. What's wrong? You're full? Come here.
I just want to bask, he says.
No, he don't. The basking is right here.
Oh, I thought he was up under his light.
No, he's all the way right here in the bottom because he just finished eating. Chrono, I got your tail.
He's gonna turn around and be like, I got your hand.
I know, huh? I got the whole arm.
Yeah, he's gonna be like, hey, dude, I got your hand. You got my tail, but I got your hand.
I smell food right now for them.
That's crazy.
But how's everybody doing today, guys?
Oh man, we're doing good. How you doing, bro?
It's freaking hot in here, bro.
Yeah, it's a little sticky in here.
I was feeding. I still have one more pig. I fed everybody. I think one of my anacondas eating. Oh, here. My anaconda is eating too.
Yeah, I appreciate you. Oh wow. I gotta get some chickens this week for my burn.
Somebody's lazy right here.
Oh, right on. Thank you, Scruff. I thought he was awesome. I didn't see, I mean, there were so many people checking in. I didn't see how long you were on, Scruff. Did you get to catch the most of it, bro?
It's like, where's my food, bro? Where's
Dude,
my
he is cool.
That dude's cool, man.
You walk him around on a leash yet?
Oh, I don't need leash with them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just let them outside the parking lot.
I hear you, bro.
I let them go out here. But they take the parking disabled though.
Oh, right on.
Especially Chrono. Oh. I let them out, including this guy. I let them out.
Good deal, Scruff. I'm glad you thought so, bro. My brother Scruff's not a rep. I mean, he does not nothing against reptiles. He don't keep, and he loved Pat's story and thought I was aspiring. That's really good, man. That's what we want to see is some other takeaways. You know, learning, community. You know, it's all love.
For sure. I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for having me on. Thank you for hearing my story, man. You know,
Yeah.
Everybody can tell their story,
Brooklyn.
but I listen to it.
This is Brooklyn.
What is that, Rhino?
Yeah,
Or is that-
my giant female. Then this is my male.
Look, they're so cool. They're so chill. Thanks for
So
coming
you have
in,
a
Scruff,
shop?
man.
You have
I
a
love you, brother.
storefront
for
down
real.
there?
Thank you, brother.
Say it again?
Do you have a storefront down there, JTK?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, go, man. I might have to take a drive and come visit. Okay.
Dude, JTK's got a huge following, bro. He's got his own posse out there that follow him religiously. He's got a lot going on. I'm glad you joined us tonight,
I think
brother.
some of
Appreciate
it,
it.
I couldn't remember. Okay, yeah, storefront.
I get all my followers from Pat.
I believe it, man. I believe it. He's got that magnetism, dude. Pat's good people.
You're not kidding.
Yeah. I stole all Pat's followers.
It's not stealing, it's sharing.
It's sharing.
Oh,
There
all
you
right,
go.
it's sharing. We're
Hey, so
sharing
Share some of
followers.
your followers then. Share some of your followers.
I'm trying to share. I'm on your live right now, bro.
Yeah, he's supporting the show.
Hey, everybody that's following me and not following them, guys, don't follow them.
You're wrong for that, man. You're wrong.
I'm just
Okay,
joking, guys.
compromise.
Everybody, please follow them. Every single one in here, please follow.
Especially my little guest account. I need 500
Follow
on
this
there for
guest
video
account.
access.
Look here we go. Follow me right there. Follow that guest account.
That's our bridge so that we can have Instagram people on our show, which is coming up in 2 weeks. So that's our workaround if they don't have a TikTok account. So we're trying to get guest account, which is just a dummy, but once it gets video,
What up, Erica?
we'll get people on there.
Who else? I'm trying to follow everybody except Erica.
I feel like there's some history here that I'm not aware of, man.
No, I'm a block Erica.
Oh, you know how it is. They hang out a lot over there, so you know how it goes. You got to have fun with everybody.
Hey, what up, Striker? What's good, brother? Man, who do we need to feed? We have one last pig. Boy, mama, Tom! That's why I'm here, because it's her fault. Boy, mama, too. She sent it to me. I said, like, who's this? I clicked on it, and next thing you know, I'm right here.
Well, I
Yeah.
hope
Wanting
Remember-
everyone's pet. What's good, brother?
CJTK, I thought you felt that you like wanted to pay it back since I helped you win them battles the other night. I thought, man, you remember my really amazing logo, and thought, man, I gotta check this cat out.
Hey, I got you, brother. I got you. Erica don't want to share us. That's messed up, Erica. Like they said, sharing is caring.
Yep. Good times. Good times. For sure, man. Well, man.
Dude, tonight has been amazing. This has been a really, really amazing show. Every
been
week is
rolling-
like a new.
Hey, we've been rolling for 3 hours, and this is amazing. This was a really good. This was a huge turnout, better than I think any of us expected. We're still holding 20 plus. We was 30 plus most for 2 hours for sure. 40 plus, 100,000 likes. This is crazy.
It is crazy. Last week we were holding 65 to 80 viewers, and we hit 73,000 likes. So every week is a new little victory every single week. This is week 5, and we've never
Man,
dipped below.
Why I don't
25
get
views.
this then? Dang,
Say
you guys
what?
are popping in here.
We've never got below 27,000 likes on a show ever, and this is our 5th week.
Oh shit. Hey Pat, you should just do a battle zone in here. They cannot leave. No, they cannot leave until they got bailed out, bro.
Oh no!
Hey,
Dre don't have to do my battles. He's way more.
I seen that coming, bro. Add one more. Let's see. Let's see. Add one more. They cannot get out on the box until they got bailed out. Somebody have to like literally send them 3K or 5K to exit the box.
What?
Yeah. And you'll see the difference, bro.
What do you mean? Tell me more.
No, anybody in the box right now, they cannot exit out until somebody, like my score is 46. That 46 have to be like 3K or 4K. Then I can leave.
Oh God, dude, we never even hit that. We'll be up till tomorrow.
Oh, trust me. You think it might be until tomorrow, but hey, you don't know.
I can't see my boxes. The host, I've never even seen my
I've
little
never done
token.
that. I didn't even know. I wouldn't even know. So
Oh, I'm good. I'm there. I got 44.2. I'm good. I'm
Dang, Pat won. Look at that. As he should. He's the
Pat
guest
won.
tonight. Look at that winner. That's the smile of a winner right there. Boom.
there. Right there. Team Graceful, appreciate y'all, man. You guys are awesome. What's up, big dog? You guys are awesome, man.
How old's your daughter, Pat? How old's your daughter?
She just turned, well, she's 14. She'll be 15 in February. So she just started high school. So it's fun times.
Woo!
Fun times.
Tough.
Yeah, my own kid.
Mine's about to turn 9, so.
Thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. This is actually my banner that I have.
I'm back.
I have all the shows with me. So if you ever go to the super shows in California, look for this banner right here. This is how you'll find me.
In a super show, if you guys go there, we're gonna put a JTK sticker on that banner.
It's okay. And I'm going to have a big old Graceful Serpents on his.
Right here.
You're gonna need a ladder, Pat. You're gonna need a ladder. You know what else will work?
Bro,
You know what else will work? A
you
rock.
can put
You can just throw a
next
rock.
to it or under it or top. You can put it anywhere, bro.
I'm going to put it on your forehead right
Thank you
there.
for the gifts, guys. Thank you. What up, Heather? Oh, my little sister's here. What's cracking, yo?
Oh, man. Well, guys, it was fun. I had a blast. And anytime you guys
What up,
ever want
Ozark?
you let me know, man, because I really enjoyed it here tonight. It was fun.
Dude, I really did too. And like I said, I thought you were really comfortable, and tonight it was a really, really good show. So I appreciate, man, being candid and being real and sharing with us tonight.
yes, thank you for
Absolutely.
hanging right as long as you have, and your inspiration, and just Yeah, again, man, just my heart. Yeah, my heart to you, big dog. Yeah,
I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all. It means a lot. Well, I'm gonna bounce out of here, guys, and I'm gonna go hop on live and hang out with my family. So,
All right, dude.
you bet.
Love, peace, and
Thank you
chicken
guys.
grease.
love, peace, and chicken grease. Hey, you guys been amazing. Appreciate you guys.
All right, Pat. Have a good night, brother.
Bye,
Hey, you
bye,
too.
Pat. Thank you, dude.
Yeah, later, guys.
Well, well, well. What a night it's been, huh?
Well.
Pretty remarkable. I can't believe. I mean, dude, I just can't believe that we what we've accomplished tonight. This is amazing. We're right at 105,000 likes. I mean,
Dude, I'm out of words. I'm out of right. When am I out of words? Never.
never.
Unless I've partaken in too much of something, but couch lock set in. Dude, I know this was a man. He was such a cool guest, such a good guest. I mean, the inspiration all he talked about.
Thank you,
Everybody in the comments keeping it going was just. It's the guests that keep it going. I mean, it is. It's everybody in the comments is just. This was great. A lot of good questions, a lot of good interaction. Well, we'll see what we got on the guest account. I know we had a whole lot of shares. You'll have to look at the details.
Yep.
So we know what the feedback is.
So in case you guys missed it, next Wednesday, Kyle Hoffman of Royal Ambassador, he's going to focus on breeding, ultrasound. He's going to teach us how he ultrasounds, talk about price points, what's worth buying, what's not, talk about, maternal emergencies, tricking his males into breeding, some stuff we've been privy to.
Tricking males?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's going to tell us some stuff that no one talks about. So
thank you, boy, mom of two. You are awesome. Thank you for hooking us up with some more people. You were really,
you
really
bet.
great
You
to
bet.
us.
Thank you for always being a supporter and coming through the show. Yes, thank you. We love it.
The next week is special. Thursday, we're having a show as well, and it's going to be Bob Vu of Bob's Balls next Thursday. Just got a message earlier. He said, yes, I would love to do it, exclamation point. That was his response. And I sent him like a freaking essay.
This is out of the norm, but it's just something we decided to do to see if we can make it happen. And y'all share that for Bob Vu. Again, thank you. Keep liking, sharing, keep supporting the guest account. Blah.
All right. You got to ride us home.
Let's go.
All right, guys. Everybody have a good night.
Have a good night, guys. We love all y'all. We'll see y'all next Wednesday. And come hang out with Dreadnought and Strictly just during our normal, whenever we hang out. So be on the lookout.
Bye, brother. Love you. Hey, Scruffosaurus. Love you, brother.
Love you guys.
See
Love
you,
you, Holly. Get some rest.
Thanks, Holly. Thanks for all your support. Good night.